Rob Carson Show is presented by Paramount Plus.
You don't need to live with aches and pains. Visit ReliefFactor.com today.
Hold it now.
You are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
All right, say it with me. By the grace of God, it is finally Friday. It is finally Friday, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, what a week. What a week. What a week. My goodness. For this show, we got the studio all going here. And yesterday, of course, I had it was a very stressful day. I woke up, I walked out, my Bronco. Buck was gone. And I'm freaking out. I'm hitting the panic button. It's not doing anything. And I'm thinking he's been stolen. And I called my producer, Redneck MacGyver, and he said, hey. You know, it might be in the basement of the Alamo. And I started driving that direction. I went, hold on a second. I saw the Pee Wee Herman movie. I get it now. I get it. But that's kind of how I was, by the way. I was like Pee Wee Herman having his bike stolen. It was having my truck stolen. It was just the thought of it. Yesterday, I just enjoyed. Like today, I just posted a video online where I was riding into work, cranking some hard rock, driving by the Washington Monument, looking at the Washington Monument and saying that Washington Monument is George Washington's middle finger at the Democrat Socialists and at the Democrat Party in general. So there you go. Some new from Jim Gossett about Tony Fauci on a Friday edition of the Rob Carson Show.
I have been kung flu lying. My role I was denying.
That is jingoistic and racist.
My story nobody's buying. Because I've been kung flu lying.
You couldn't say this in 2020, but
there was a massive cover-up about the Wuhan leak. I lied to Rand Paul when the truth he tried to seek. Over 100 times, the fifth I took. I must admit, it was an awful look. I was kung flu stonewalling. You could call it appalling.
Yeah, pretty appalling. I hope you go to jail, you piece
now
of...
for my head, they're calling. My reputation's falling.
Yeah. Jim Gossett.
The guilt that I'm denying is kung flu lying. Kung flu lying.
You know, when
kung flu lying.
I launched my swag line. I have T-shirts and whatnot. I don't make a big deal out of it, but back in about 2020, I had a T-shirt that had a guy doing a karate pose, and it said Kung Flu Fighting, and they censored it. They censored it on my T-shirt site. That's how much the censorship was happening around 2020. So it's kind of funny to do that song. This Jim Gossett, by the way, you know, he's a friggin' genius. He did another one today. You're going to love about the pied de terre in New York City. You know, Zoran Mandami has doxed all these people and made them targets for violence, because that's what the Marxists do. So he did 2 songs today. Patreon.com, Jim Gossett Comedy, if you want to help him out. It's kind of weird that Anthony Fauci pleaded the fifth 110 times, because in 2022 he said this.
Well, if I become a punching bag, I'm a punching bag, but I am very happy to...
Oh, I'd love to make you a punching bag.
...testify before any congressional...
I'll be first in line. I'll pay $1.
Oversight Committee. I have nothing to hide. I can explain and validate everything that I've done. So,
yeah, sure.
You know, it's going to be inconvenient if they actually are out there essentially threatening to make my life miserable. But I'm going to do what I need to do, and that is cooperate fully, because we have nothing to hide.
Yeah. That was when Joe Biden was the president, before he got his pardon and everything. So, oh, man. I mean, honestly, there's just a point, and this is why I came up with the expression, because I'm not stupid. You know, the left will do everything they can to tell you there's nothing to see here, nothing to see here, nothing to see here, despite overwhelming evidence. I said originally there was no Russia collusion. Russia had no interest in colluding with Donald Trump because they had already bought and paid for Hillary Clinton. Duh. You know, I said that Hunter Biden's laptop was real because of all the evidence and stuff. And I said, you know, the reason why I know it's real real because I'm not stupid, And this is your Democrat Party once again. And, people like, the network media saying, oh, no, he was a really good guy. He was really, who is it? What's his name? I'm trying to remember. The communist over on MS Now. He was, Lawrence O'Donnell defending Anthony Fauci.
Bernie Moreno's target in that hearing today was a man who has done more in service to this country and the world than every senator in that room and the entire current United States Senate combined.
Why do I not doubt that you would actually service Anthony Fauci if you had the opportunity? I'm just telling you. I mean, come on. He paid for the damn virus to be created. He's been a big fan of this creating monster Frankenstein viruses. He's a big fan. He's like one of the only people in the world who's like, I got to do one of these gain of functions, and if I can't find a place to do it in the United States, we'll do it in China, for God's sake. I mean, come on. We're not stupid. This is Tony Fauci. No, this is not Tony Fauci. This is Rand Paul, his arch enemy, the anti-Tony Fauci, talking about, the fact that Tony Fauci deleted a whole lot of emails, which would kind of say that maybe he's trying to cover something up.
You can only presume that he felt he was guilty of various crimes or could be indicted. I think there was a request made by Anthony Fauci and his attorneys.
That's the only reason why he would plead the fifth.
But I don't know that they ever specified. One of the questions we were going to ask yesterday is who requested the pardon and what specific crimes were you concerned with being prosecuted for?
Joe Biden's ghostwriter requested it. Otto Penn.
The crimes that we are aware of are lying to Congress, destroying public records.
Did a lot of that.
Those are the two main categories.
Yeah, January 6th committee did that too, by the way.
That we looked at yesterday. We had emails from his longtime assistant saying, deleted tons of emails for you over the weekend.
Oh.
We had specific emails that were deleted, including
Hillary Clinton did that a lot with emails too.
Francis Collins, the head of the NIH.
36,000 of them.
He says, please read this and delete it, and then delete it from your deleted files.
Delete it.
We had him requesting people to delete phone calls from voicemail.
Triple dog delete it.
As well. So I think that he had an extensive period of time where he was always covering his trail, always trying to make sure that there wasn't any trail left that could catch up to him.
Doing a little CYWA, cover your wrinkly ass. Here is Rand Paul talking about the origins, because everybody knows it wasn't pangolin soup or bat soup at the wet market. That's ridiculous.
But for years, we put together a compilation of him on television saying, wet market, wet market, wet.
So how many people, I mean, honestly, why haven't there been more diseases at the wet market if the wet market is so prone to having diseases and stuff? Why was this the only time that the wet market could have been the cause in the same city where we were paying to have the virus created? Oh, yeah.
Market, wet market. He continued to argue for years that it came from the wet market, even though he knew in January of 2020 that it didn't.
He did, yeah.
The other thing that we know is that early on, there was a question of whether or not, wow, the structure of this virus looks like it's been manipulated.
I know.
Nobel laureates, David Baltimore, said the same thing. Looks like the smoking gun.
Yeah.
Even his virologists
I think they had him murdered. I'm not sure.
His buddies that were advising him all thought that privately.
No, they just gave him the vaccine. Same thing.
But they all said something different publicly. And that's really the theme of all of this. Is virtually everything he believed privately, he said the opposite publicly. You remember early on he told the cabinet member, we've studied masks in pandemics. They don't work for respiratory viruses.
No, they don't.
Just go about your trip and you don't need to wear a mask. And then publicly he's wearing 3 masks.
Because masks broadcast fear.
Including wearing masks outside.
It's control.
So really it was a lot of contradictions, but
for you Gen Zers who watch SpongeBob, remember that time that Plankton put the buckets on everybody's head and controlled them and everything? Just like that.
Damaged a lot of people. The idea of
I have Gen Z kids.
6 foot of distance kept kids at home because they couldn't build the schools big enough to be 6 feet apart all the
restaurants
time.
and bars and businesses and everything else down
I
the
just
line.
totally rocked the Gen Z audience on that one. Here is Rand Paul. The other day, because Tony Fauci wasn't supposed to be able to plead the fifth because he got a pardon, you see. And Rand Paul said, you know what? We could have left this all behind us if you just would have apologized.
I would have accepted an apology.
Getting an apology out of Tony Fauci about about as difficult as it was to get out of my ex-wife. It never happened.
I've accepted, I am sorry. The big question is this.
30 years, not one time.
Should we be paying for, the taxpayer, to take animal viruses and purposely mutate them to become human viruses? He knew it was going on. In January of 2020, his private notes say, we're suspicious of the Chinese because we know they do gain-of-function research. But if he was suspicious, why did he fund them?
Yeah.
It's a terrible judgment to fund a group of people.
Well, I don't know. They might be creating the coronavirus in that Wuhan lab. Here, I'm writing out this check. How do you spell Wuhan?
That you now are saying are doing dangerous research that could have led to this pandemic. So a lot of judgment errors, but never any admission of responsibility. For it.
Usually judgment errors don't end up with 20 million people dead around the world. Yeah, and if you have a loved one who died of COVID, know that Tony Fauci was responsible for it. Yeah, absolutely, because he bought and paid for the virus. Yeah, he did. There's really no doubt about it. I'm hoping that there is hell to pay. Not the kind of hell to pay like on Joe Biden said. That's a hell as in like hellish to pay. But I'm hoping that Anthony Fauci has hell to pay for this. James Uthmeyer is the AG in Florida. He's going after Tony.
The answer is no. No, a federal pardon can apply to federal crimes, but not state investigations and state crimes.
Get him.
Here in Florida,
Get him.
It has been eye-opening for us to see the lack of candor, to see the dishonesty, the unwillingness to cooperate with Congress.
The lying.
And now, the revelations that have come to light, and I want to thank Senator Rand Paul and his colleagues for continuing this fight, to continue asking questions. And now there's more evidence that shows what many people have long believed, that Dr. Fauci lied and deceived the American people.
Duh.
He pushed and directed that vaccines and these so-called medical treatments were safe and effective, while personally questioning that, personally worrying about that.
Of course.
But nevertheless, because he cared about his own fame, his own fortune, there's very serious allegations that he made money off of this entire deception.
A lot of money.
He nevertheless went forward and pushed things on the American people that took so much away from us.
Yeah, it did, and I ain't going to forget it anytime soon. Welcome to Friday, kids. We got a great show today. The unusual suspects on the show today. The first one, Tony Kinnett, Daily Signal, joins us at the bottom of the hour. This is the Rob Carson Show.
News on Talk Radio 680 WCBM.
The Rob Carson Show podcast is everywhere. Go to Newsmax.com/listen for details.
It is a Friday edition of the Rob Carson Show. Welcome to it. We got a lot of stuff to get to, as we always do here from the lovely studios on 14th Street in Washington, D.C. It's what, the 31st of July, and my day it started off just slightly better than yesterday when I thought my truck was stolen. Today, rent and alimony are due. You know, it's so fun to pay somebody you don't have anything to do with anymore and won't talk to you every single month. That said, it's just funny. It is just funny. My God. Florida Attorney General launches a probe into Fauci. That's kind of I hope it's not lubricated. The guy who's the James Uthmeyer has launched several investigations since he was appointed by DeSantis in 2025 from suing health organization of the state's ban on transgender treatments for children to recruiting rules used by the NFL, among other things. And he should be held in contempt for not answering Rand Paul's questions about the U.S. funding of the lab in the region, blah, blah, blah. So hopefully it'll be even more, and hopefully we'll see all sorts of stuff. Not only this, but also class action lawsuits against Fauci, so he dies broken and shamed. That would be kind of nice, wouldn't it? That'd be kind of nice. Bernie Moreno had a great, he was the guy who dropped the F-bomb in the hearing the other day. What the bleep were you thinking to Tony Fauci? Here he is talking about the doctor.
The reality is this guy damaged a lot of things in this country. He set back children decades.
My kids, yeah.
He crushed small businesses, destroyed and sometimes killed seniors that had to die alone. He closed nursing homes, closed hospitals, had people fired, Sean. If you didn't take the vaccine because you didn't want to, you say, hey, look, I don't want to put something in my body that I don't believe in. They were fired. They were terminated from the military. Careers were shattered. Yeah. And this guy sat there like a smug little SOB.
Yeah, this is why I'm not going to forget. This is why I will never forget. And I will be promoting that this guy is sued into oblivion, prosecuted into oblivion.
The reality is, every night he'd go home and write in his diary how many people died.
He wrote a diary of a madman. Diary, that was an Ozzy Osbourne album.
Died, and then, oh, I got to meet Kim Kardashian, or aren't I the sexiest man alive? Oh, I'm so important. This is one of the most depraved bureaucrats in American history.
That's what I said the other day. I said he's the most. He's America's Mengele. He's America's Mengele. He really is. He would open his diary entries talking about how many people died and were infected, then talk about who was paying attention to him and who loved him. That is the pathology of a serial killer. Here's Bernie Moreno on what he wants to do to Fauci.
Well, look, if John Morgan is listening or other class action attorneys, they should go after Fauci, because now we have...
as soon as I find out about a class action lawsuit against Tony Fauci, you will hear about it. If you lost a loved one, if you lost your job, if you lost your business, if your kids went through a living hell, I will tell you where to sign up.
The documents in the public zone. We know what he was actually thinking. We know what he lied to the American people. State attorney generals like the one in Florida, I hope the one in Ohio does the same thing. We got to pursue this guy. For the attorneys out there, sue the crap out of this guy. Let's go get him. The attorney general, this guy cannot stay free after what he did and damaged American people.
100%. You know, it's funny, Jake Tapper, who had a seething love affair that involved dining with Tony Fauci in the height of the pandemic, and I don't think they wore protection. I mean, a face mask when he was over at his house having dinner. How you going to eat lobster with a mask on your face? So obviously, when he was with Jake Tapper, they didn't use protection. Jake Tapper was talking about Fauci last night, and he didn't even mention that Jake Tapper, or that Anthony Fauci mentioned Jake Tapper like 41 times in his diary.
I think Republicans were going for here was that Fauci was saying things publicly that didn't necessarily line up with what he was thinking or saying privately. Some of Fauci's private diary...
You freaking had dinner. You invited him to your house for dinner.
...entries seem to contradict his previous public statements. For example, in a March 2020 entry, Fauci recalls a conversation he had with then New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio. Fauci wrote, quote, "I spoke with Bill de Blasio and convinced him based on what I was saying publicly in my conversation tonight to close the New York City schools. He had already decided based on what I was saying on TV," unquote. Fauci also wrote about a similar call he had with Gavin Newsom's chief of staff, Gavin Newsom, the governor of California.
No mention of dining with Anthony Fauci during the height of the pandemic and not wearing any protection. That is just kind of interesting, isn't it? Here's Rob Finnerty reminding you of the relationship between Jake Tapper and Tony Fauci.
Jake Tapper and Dr. Fauci had dinner together at Jake's house. Here is a journal entry.
What shall we drink to?
From July 26, 2020. Fauci starts with the daily COVID death toll, quote, fifth day in a row with 1,000 deaths a day. He goes on from there, quote, had dinner over at Jake and Jen Tapper's house in D.C. Terrific couple, friendship building. And a few weeks later, he started with the death toll again, quote, had dinner at my place with Jake and Jennifer Tapper, relaxed, good time. Jake clearly thinks Trump is totally nuts, end quote.
Wow, that's not very objective of Jake Tapper as a reporter. Oh, Jake and Jen. You guys have couples like that in your lives? They're Jake and Jen. You know, the Jake and Jen. We had friends named Mike and Kathy and Keith and Bev. We had Keith and Bev in our lives. And, you know, they're that couple thing. You know, it was Rob and Kelly for about 30 years, and it's not anymore. And that's okay. So I'm just playing. But old Jake and Jen, you know, who wouldn't want to go have dinner at Jake and Jen's house during the height of a pandemic when the guy you're having dinner with is shut down all human interaction between people, making them wear masks, making them get a vaccine, not letting them have any concerts, closing down the churches, closing down the schools. Ting! What should we drink to tonight, Jake? As we have our lobster and we drive businesses out of it. I mean, honestly, wow. Here's George Stephanopoulos talking about the hearings being a sign of the times because of partisanship.
And Jay, a sign of the times, that Dr. Fauci hearing yesterday, about as partisan as it gets.
It was, and now after that...
because the Democrat Party refuses to hold him accountable.
At hearing, the chair of that committee, Senator Rand Paul of Kentucky, says he wants to move to hold...
It shouldn't be partisan, by the way. The guy created the virus, lied about it. Millions died. Tens of thousands of businesses went out of business, and a generation of kids' educations were destroyed. That shouldn't be bipartisan, but it is for the Democrats because they don't give a rat's behind. Coming up, the first of our unusual suspects on a Friday, Tony Kinnett, Daily Signal. Don't go anywhere. This isn't the end of a fight. It's the start of one. Lioness, the critically acclaimed original series from Taylor Sheridan, returns August 2nd only on Paramount Plus. It's the new season. Hidden networks, foreign operatives, and personal betrayals collide while Joe walks the line between duty and family. Don't miss Lioness, starring Zoe Saldana, Michael Kelly, with Morgan Freeman and Nicole Kidman, streaming August 2nd only on Paramount Plus. Hey guys, it's Carson for Ghost Bed. Do you really want another summer like last summer, barely sleeping because you were too hot all night? People blame summer heat for bad sleep when it really may be their mattress trapping heat. And if you already sleep hot, summer only makes it worse. That's why I switched to Ghost Bed. Helps keep you cool all night, no waking up sweaty, tossing and turning, or throwing the covers off at 2 a.m. Cooling tech is built into every mattress. It's not some expensive upgrade you have to pay extra for. Hot sleepers are some of Ghost Bed's happiest customers. Read the reviews. You get incredible support, less stiffness, deeper sleep, more rested mornings. I got my Ghost Bed about 6 months ago, and it changed my life. Ghost Bed gives you 101 nights to try it at home. You can sleep on it all summer long and feel the difference for yourself. How many more summers are you going to waste on bad sleep? Ghost Bed is currently having their 4th of July sale, offering my audience an extra 10% off. Go to ghostbed.com/Carson. Use the promo code Carson. That's ghostbed.com/Carson, promo code Carson.
Unforgivable, those Fauci lies.
Unforgivable, your alibi.
My alibis. took the fifth, 'cause I didn't want to be hauled away and charged with perjury. Never before have actions been more unforgivable in every way.
In every way.
No one believes a word I say.
A word you say.
The cover-up was so predictable. My explanation's contradictable. It makes Fauci quite convictable too.
Hi, it's Tony Marino, host of the super popular Newsmax Daily Podcast, a rundown of the day's top headlines and top highlights of Newsmax shows and interviews you may have missed, plus some sports, stock markets, and even some yucks, all packed into about 20 minutes. Search for the Newsmax Daily with me, Tony Marino, on your favorite podcast platform, and check out our entire lineup of great podcasts, including Greg Kelly, Rob Carson, and Jerry Callahan at newsmax.com/listen.
Hey guys, it's Carson for Relief Factor. When it comes to supplements, two things matter most: that it works and that you can trust it. I trust Relief Factor. We hear from people every single day whose lives have changed. And of course, we'd like you to hear a few of their stories. Mark, for instance, was in tears from his daily hand joint discomfort. But after a week on Relief Factor, he felt 50% better. Now he barely even notices any pain. I can attest to this. It used to hurt getting up and out of chairs or even off the bench press at the gym. Not so much anymore. People like Mark make it easy to find out if you'll be the next person telling us a Relief Factor story and how it gave you your life back. 3 weeks now for just $17.76. Simply go to relieffactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. They'll do everything they can to help. We hope you'll be sharing your story too. relieffactor.com or 800-4RELIEF.
I think there's this idea perhaps in Democratic circles, oh, they're coming in from the outside. No. The call is coming from inside the House. It's your own voters. I mean, just take a look here. Voters identifying as Democratic Socialists. When you look at self-identified Democrats, and we're talking about voters, we're talking about 41%. Wow. 41% of self-identified Democratic voters. It's not coming from outside the tent because just 20% of Dem-leaning independents actually identify as Democratic Socialists. These are Democratic voters. These are people who voted for Kamala Harris. These are people now where we're talking about a little bit more than 2 in 5 Democratic voters who identify as Democratic Socialists.
Yeah, it looks like the Democrat Party is going full-on socialist. Joining us to talk about this and a whole lot more is one of our unusual suspects, the Tony Kinnett from the Daily Signal. How are you, my friend?
It has been a very weird week.
Oh, dude.
Because I have gone from, at the very beginning of this week, saying, hey, all of these articles show that black voters are abandoning the Democratic Party because they're going full socialist. And I was called a race baiter.
Yeah.
I was on CNN. This guy threw a petulant toddler fit over me bringing this up. And then what happened?
Yeah.
Harry Ensign, CNN, gets up and says, everyone's kind of unhappy with this. Yeah. And I love it, man. I love it.
Well, it's all a bunch of people who paid for worthless degrees, who owe $250,000 and are working at Starbucks. You see that it's $30,000 to $60,000 a year. Undergrads owing $106,000. People with graduate degrees over $190,000. And now, because they're failures at life, they want to just blow up the country. It's just ridiculous.
You know, it was interesting. A couple of years ago, because I have 2 master's degrees that are both worthless, and they're in curriculum development and education technology, because I used to be a teacher and administrator.
I know.
And I still get asked, like, what do you think education, where do you think it should go? And my answer is trade schools. You go all in on trade schools. We're talking plumbers, electricians, simple technicians. And the other reason that that's important, not just the fact that it makes money, but a hard day's work of labor and of running your own organization or being part of something that is repairing, that is fixing, that is generating, it prevents you from diving into this sulky, mulky mire of I deserve everything and everyone hates me and I need socialism because give me money. Trade schools are an antidote for that crap.
Yeah, you know, I had a guy come to the our old house, and he wrapped a beam for me. He was a woodworker, and I just asked him. I said, "What do you? Why do you do this?" He goes, "Well, I have an MBA, and I didn't want to do that anymore, and this is what I love to do." And you know, he said, "I make more than I would have otherwise." He was making probably $250,000, $300K doing custom woodwork, and he enjoys it. And the cool thing about that, when you leave work, you leave that work at work. And you can go home and not worry about it. It's kind of crazy, right?
My grandfather, for whom I'm named, he was the electrician in-house for the Westinghouse plant in Muncie, Indiana. And he used to say 2 things that always stuck with me. He said, number one, he said, if you come home from a job tired at the end of the day, you don't have time for any of this rioting and protesting BS. And then number 2, my other favorite was, he said, give a young man a master of the craft who is willing to tell him when he is a stupid young man that he's retarded. And I tell you, that also stuck with me. We need old men in these trades molding some of these young men so they don't fall prey to some of these old scams and schemes.
Well, they used to do a thing called apprenticeships, if I'm not mistaken. So there's that.
They still do. That's the whole point. The master and apprentice model. I'm sorry, this is a totally different side of things, but it's so important because if you want the future answer to socialism, this is the answer to prevent it. You need good masters teaching apprentices, and that includes a little bit of hazing. Tough noogies.
There you go. Mitch McConnell's aides refused to answer why there's no video of the ailing center. Here is a journalist named Balassi, I guess, chasing the press secretary down the hall, and she won't answer the question.
Can you tell us if you're going to release a video of Senator McConnell instead of just the statement that was put out? A lot of people are questioning if it was a current photo on social media. You guys going to try to put it to rest and put out a video? Anything you...
Nicholas Balassi chasing after the Stephanie Penn, and no answer. And I got to tell you, this is absolutely bullcrap. The guy has missed how many... it is utterly ridiculous that we have a member of Congress who has missed 38 consecutive Senate floor votes, okay? They are just putting a picture of him. This is absurd. This cannot be acceptable.
Did you see there was of all things, a Daily Beast article, and they said, top MAGA pundit star says that McConnell's team needs to release a video. That was back on Monday.
Wow.
And apparently that's me. I didn't know I was a top MAGA pundit
well,
star,
look at
but
you.
I'll take it. Okay, I know I'll be signing autographs later, but in person and not by statement.
I had no idea. We're going to have to start paying you for this.
Oh, I'm telling you what, they're going to start paying. It's the Daily Beast, so they're going to pay me in blue hair and crappy coffee. But anywho, I'm of this opinion.
Yes.
There is nothing in politics that stops me from coming to the common sense conclusion.
Yes.
Dude, just release a video. If you don't look great in it, then say that. I guarantee you're going to win a lot more people over by saying, well, yeah, I was in the hospital, but I'm recovering and I'm fine, which, again, a lot of people are doubtful of.
Yeah.
And now we're in a situation where no matter what he does, no matter where he goes, he's in trouble because they're going to try to walk this one past like old Republican, old Democrat PR style.
Yeah.
That age is over, where you can just ignore the problem and it goes away.
Yep.
I don't think so.
Yeah, well,
they're going to damage Kentucky in the long term.
Well, this is what they do. They it's like what they did with Dianne Feinstein. They just basically kept her propped up, and used her vote. I mean, he may not even be able to cast a vote for all we know. There may be other people voting for him. I believe something like that happened with a guy named Joe Biden. Yeah. His mental faculties were gone too, and there were other people pulling the strings. And honestly, that the Republican Party would go down this road as well is ridiculous.
Well, I will say this on the bright side, though. It doesn't appear the Republican Party is going down this road. Yeah. It just appears that some of his staffers are going down this road. And then here's the difference, right? Yeah. So when McConnell pulled this crap, at this point, I'm saying, sorry, there's been crap that's pulled. I'm at the point where I'm over any other alternative.
Yep.
I see Republicans calling him out more than I see any Democrats calling him out.
Yeah.
And again, that's back when the Biden nonsense was going on. They were trying to hide that as quickly as they could, as best they could, no matter what they could do. Yeah. So, I mean, at this point, I'm looking at this whole mess, and I'm thinking, this too shall pass. It's a shame that he's doing this. Eventually it will break, and it will be more embarrassing because he just isn't taking the graceful approach out.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, we got a bunch of other stuff to get to on the other side of the break, including Kamala Harris's new $8 million mansion. And you won't believe the percentage of the neighborhood that are black. Let me just put it this way. You could look into a neighborhood and just whisper the word black, and you'd have more black people than in Kamala Harris's new neighborhood. We're going to take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
FM in Harford County.
We got some breaking news. We set this up. Hold on. You're not going to believe this, Tony Kinnett. Nick Sorter is reporting that Maine's new Democrat Senate candidate Troy Jackson is in a romantic relationship with his cousin and has 2 children with her. about that, Tony? What?
I must say, when I got that alert, because it cracked me up. Like the main wire, I think, is the original purveyor of the report.
Yes.
That Ilhan Troy Marr is just having a time. I mean, my goodness. And then, did I not tell you last week on this very show? I told you, Rob.
Yes.
The scandals for Troy Jackson are coming. I told you.
Yeah.
And now here we are.
There you go.
Here we are. That's the first of many. It's going to be an exciting time, and you know, I guess All in the Family's doing reruns up in Maine. What can I say?
This is great. Well, they got 2 children, which make them second cousins. That's kind of weird. That's super weird. Holy hell.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't recommend it personally.
No, I wouldn't. No.
I think that's I think that's not necessarily the best move. But hey, Maine has got the weird lady or lady dude who said he bleeds from his butt. You had Graham Plattner, the Nazi rapist guy, and now you have second cousin man. Woo-hoo-hoo!
Wow. So Kamala Harris' new $8 million mansion. You know, she's obviously come up with a lot of great ideas, brought them to market. Built businesses and whatnot to make that money. Or she's done nothing. 4,000 square foot property indicates she acquired for $8.15 million, located in the exclusive seaside community of Port Doom. It's D-U-M-E, not D-O-O-M. Port Doom. Is Dr. Doom live there? Any ocean views, multiple wine fridges, golf greens, and enough parking to accommodate everything. By the way, the Point Doom is situated entirely within Census Tract 8, whatever the hell. And according to that, it was. Are you ready for this? Remember when I told you that if you're considering the neighborhood, you could just whisper the word black into a neighborhood, and it would be more black than this neighborhood. 0.2% of the population at Point Doom is black people.
Wow, let's go! I'm always in the. She's going to go to the lake house with Sheldon Whitehouse. Wow!
I swear to God! Oh my God! 0.2%. What? 0.2%? What the hell is that? That's somebody who visits every once in a while. That's it.
I'm just loving it. I do. I love watching all of the promises that they made about how wonderfully diverse and social she was, and the importance of that. It's all fake. None of it's real.
God, of course it is. 0.2%. Even in Iowa, we had more people in the 80s, more black people than that. I mean, that's like bleachy white. That's like white as can be. Wow.
Like Elizabeth Warren white.
I swear to God. Oh, my God. Unacceptable. Auburn students circulate a list of racial slurs toward white people. Have you ever been called any of these, Tony? I want to know. Cracker is the obvious one. Cracker is the here are some of the other insults that they've published in this. There was a group chat called AU Student Connect, and it had a bunch of, I guess this is for white people, failed abortions. Okay, whatever.
Okay, sure.
Mockery of humanity. This is a good one actually. Bleach demon. You're a bleach demon.
A bleach demon. Okay, so that one, at least that one has a little zest to it.
Yeah,
I mean, failed abortions. Remind me what community has more abortions than any other in the United States?
What is that group of people? Well, I know they're not in Kamala Harris's new neighborhood, that's for sure.
Well played. Well played.
Albino
bleach demon.
Albino.
That's not even clever.
No, bleach demon. I don't mind that actually. You know what? If I had like a race car. Like a drag race car. They always have names for them and stuff. I might have my race car be called Bleach Demon. It's kind of cool.
Why wouldn't you go for Clorox Preacher? Then you could at least have the alliteration.
Ooh, how about Albino Pig? Albino Pig.
Wait, what color were pigs? Are pigs pigmented creatures?
They're kind of pink. They're kind of pink, actually. So there you go.
I mean, aren't white people kind of pink? Are they okay? Are these group chats okay?
Yeah. Well, I'm kind of pink. My face is a little this way. But my daughter, because, you know, I'm kind of Irish, and I got the freckles and everything, she says that my complexion, my skin tone is that of a Papa John's cheese pizza. Have you ever seen a Papa John's cheese pizza? It kind of bubbles a little bit there, and the cheese is kind of white there, and then it's got kind of orangey where it's kind of caramelized a little bit. Trust me, if you saw my arm, you'd go,
I'm Indiana. We're the home of Papa John's of all things. So, like, believe me, my man, I'm feeling the references, and again, as a fellow, as a half Irishman,
yes.
I would love to just say that I endorse all of these, but we came up with better slurs for white people in New York in the 1800s. You're going to have to do better than that.
You really did. Bleach Demon, though. I kind of like it. I don't think I'd mind that. Maybe it's a great nickname.
On a Harley. Scott Walker. Scott Walker would stencil that on his Harley. Absolutely.
Or you could even have your own motorcycle gang with the leather jackets with the logo on the back. Bleach Demons. Hell yeah.
Okay, I was gonna do the failed abortions. We're still here. Make it kind of a mother-son outing,
One other thing here. An insane initiative that would have been banned hunting and fishing in Oregon fails to make the ballot. Initiative 28, an effort led by Portland-based vegan advocates, oh, dear God in heaven, to dramatically expand the state's animal cruelty laws, had less than 75% of valid signatures. They handed in 142,000 signatures, and apparently only 104,000 of them were verified. I think the other ones might have been signed by raccoons and squirrels. I could be wrong.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious! I can't believe we almost forgot to mention this, my man.
What?
Did also up in Maine in Crazyland?
Yes.
PETA and the vegans sent out that naked woman painted red as a lobster.
Yes.
Did you see this?
No.
Oh my gosh! And people started showing up because she's a very curvy lady and she's laying naked on a plate.
Yeah.
So people started catcalling her. Well, everyone except Troy Jackson, he's taken. But I mean,
I did not see that. But I would have brought some nice warm butter. It's not uncommon for me to bring that when I meet a woman. Anyway.
I hardly know her.
All right. This is what we do. This is what we do on Fridays. Tell everybody where they can find your awesome podcast, Tony Kinnett.
You can find us on youtube.com/Tony Kinnettcast. That's right. New YouTube channel stuff, new stuff coming, including a guest appearance by the gorgeous Rob Carson.
Hey. Thank you, you fantastic Irish bleach demon, whatever the hell you are. We'll talk again soon.
Just put butter on me.
All right. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. Oh my God.
Are you...
Do you see why he's the usual suspect? You see why he's an unusual suspect on Friday? Holy crap. My God. Hello, guys. How are you, Dookie Bear? Hello, Round the Pony. Autocannon DC-42 saying that Rob is really from The Simpsons. No. Cracker Cruiser. I like that, Dookie Bear. Cracker Cruiser. Honky Ote. What the hell is this? Oh, my God. So funny. I just love the people we have on Friday. All three of them, Tony and Mary and Christian, are just terrific. Alabaster Aristocrat. I like that. Yeah, that's good. Abolish the IRS. Kansas tried this just cut taxes down to nothing strategy. Such a disaster that Kansas has Democrats as governors now. Yeah, I lived in Kansas. I moved from there. Missouri has taking the income tax off the ballot next week. My ex lives there now. She's got TDS so badly she'll probably vote against it. All right, anyway, I was just returning a text here. All right, a note. Let's look over on the Exogen. There you go. We got a lot of people watching on X today. How are you guys on X? Appreciate you. What about Facebook? Look at Facebook. Sometimes I have a hard time getting Facebook up, if you know what I mean. There we are. Who's watching on Facebook today? Come on, load up. Dougito, hello. Paper John's daddy. Hello, Rob. Robert Lawson. Hello, Carol Leftwich. Rob is on a roll today. I know. I'm just in a good mood, guys.
3 minutes.
Oh, there you go. Right there. Tom Morello doing Voodoo Child. Crank that up, Brian. Drop it down with the edge of my hand. Oh, yeah. That's a great version. I've heard a million versions of that. I'm going to go with Jimi Hendrix first, Stevie Ray Vaughan, and I'm going to go with Tom Morello, number 3 on this one. Frank Marino was really good, too. I'm a music guy, so I know these things. Tim Robbins was talking to Joe Rogan. Tim Robbins, he was in Bull Durham, and he seems like a pretty decent liberal, to be quite honest. And he was talking to Joe Rogan. Fascinating interview about ivermectin, which turns out it's a brilliant, brilliant medication that Anthony Fauci shut down because he didn't want to get rid of the emergency use authorization and force everybody to take a vaccine. And here is Joe Rogan talking to Tim Robbins. I'm not sure if he's still with Susan Sarandon. She's a nutbag. Talking about ivermectin.
That same thing kind of happened. I recognized that same smell when COVID was happening, when people came out and started asking questions and were deplatformed or marginalized or canceled. And, I followed what you were going through with the ivermectin, which was a drug that I had taken, and I had lost my sense of smell, and a day later it was back.
What?
So I knew there was something going on with that, and in an emergency, why not find whatever you can treat until your magic potion arrives? It
wasn't just that; it was like the completely disingenuous characterization of it as a veterinary drug.
Yeah,
and calling it horse paste or horse dewormer, which is crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy because maybe that would have worked in 1980 when people would have to go to the encyclopedia to find out what ivermectin really was. But when you're trying to do that in 2020, it's just too easy to look up, it got a Nobel Prize for use in human beings.
It did.
Oh, it's great for yellow fever and dengue fever and river blindness. And, this has been used billions of times. Oh, it's one of the safest. Oh, wait a minute. It's in the World Health Organization's essential medicines list?
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Yeah. I have mine in the Wellness Company. Remember the Wellness Company? They were a sponsor for a number of years for us. I got my ivermectin. I've been taking it, by the way, ivermectin and mebendazole. I'll explain why eventually here. But we're discovering some amazing stuff about it. Hydroxychloroquine, ivermectin, and Anthony Fauci shut it down. A brilliant medicine, as brilliant as any that has ever been made. Second hour of the Rob Carson Show, including the great Mary Walter, coming up. Don't go anywhere.
The Rob Carson Show is presented by Paramount Plus. The Rob Carson Show is presented by Paramount Plus.
You don't need to live with aches and pains. Visit ReliefFactor.com today.
Hold it now. Live from Newsmax Studios in Washington, D.C., the most interesting, informative, and funny show in America, on air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
It is, and by the grace of God, it is finally Friday. I'm going to be taking a couple days off next week, a little bit sooner than I thought. I am going to be driving my daughter back to Kansas City, and she's got her vehicle here, and it doesn't feel terribly comfortable driving across country 18 hours by herself, and my son just landed a job. So I'm going to take a couple days off, load her stuff back in the truck, and then drive across the country and then fly back the following Saturday. So late in the week, I'll be taking a few days off and heading there. And it's bittersweet for me because I got to tell you, I've really enjoyed having her here. I want to just a point of personal privilege. My daughter, she's an artist, right? She's going to art school. And I told her, it's great you're going to art school, but you got to make a living doing art. So that's got to be a part of your curriculum. You cannot just do pretty little paintings and all this crap. You've got to figure out a way to monetize. That's it. I've been on her rear end about this forever. Guess what? She's now getting commissions. Guess what? She paid her rent this month with commissions, with money she made from commissions. People are commissioning her to create characters, and she draws them. Some of these characters take 6-8 hours to make, and they're completely original, and she paid rent with her art. Kaboom! So there you go. That's number one. I remember years ago I was going to school. Northwest Missouri State University, home of the mighty Bearcats, thank you very much. They've got a really nice broadcast program there. And there was a teacher there named Dr. Steve. He doesn't talk to me anymore because I'm a Trump supporter. But Dr. Steve, I remember, walked in one of his lectures and he said, but above all things, when you are a broadcaster involved in broadcasting, number one, you've got to make money. That's what he said. Now he's academic. He's been an academic for 25 years, and he's a complete lefty. But that's the way it is. You got to make a living at it. That's all there is to it. Got to make a living at it. All right. But I'm going to miss having my daughter around. And, now I can finally have women back in the apartment. Like that ever happened. It's also been nice to have the dog there. My little Shih Tzu last night. She had a date actually with another Shih Tzu. This little old lady who lives she brought her Shih Tzu over. He's a male, and of course Desi would have nothing to do with him. It was funny. Musk plans a massive push for GOP in the midterms. This is great because the Democrats have had Act Blue. The Democrats have had Neville Singham. The Democrats have had George Soros and all these other billionaires and whatnot. And Musk is resuscitating his dormant super PAC, America PAC, which spent more than $260 million to help get Trump elected in 2024. Going to be focused on door-knocking, digital advertising, direct mail aimed at turning out the conservative base. And we need to get out. We need to make out. This is good. This is very, 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 very good. He is the guy, by the way, who saved free speech by buying Twitter. I cannot thank him enough for doing that, by the way. I was digging through a bunch of articles that I saved about the censorship industrial complex. I'm going to share them next week with you. I also have a bunch of stories about Fauci that I saved because I knew all of those things that we were going through in 2020, anywhere from 2019 to 2023. I knew they were historic, and we would look back on them as a time of great almost we became a dictatorship. So GOP super PACs and committees have $300 million plus the advantage over the Democrat counterparts. That doesn't include $400 million sitting in Trump's MAGA Inc. super PAC. Republicans hoping their money will offset the political environment favoring Democrats. I don't know why the hell it's favoring Democrats because they're freaking insane. They are freaking insane. Don't believe me? Believe me, because they're nuts. Here's Jesse Waters talking about the insane Democrat Party.
Do a bunch of people sit around the room and say, how much kind of crazy we cram into our platform.
That's obviously John Fetterman.
And now it's like, oh yeah, let's abolish everything.
When a child is 3 years old, you know what their favorite thing to do is? Break stuff.
Yeah.
They like the sound it makes.
Yeah.
They like watching the pieces scatter, hear it shatter. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's cause and effect. They're realizing that they have the power to break stuff. Makes them feel good. They like breaking better than building. Communists are at that stage developmentally. They want to abolish the presidency, the Senate, Pentagon, police, prisons, and of course, ICE.
I think that ICE should be abolished and that the people at the head of this agency and the people that are shooting people in mass, the ICE agents that are killing people should be prosecuted and held accountable under United States courts of law. Let's be clear about who we're ascribing criminality to.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you right now, when it comes to communism, there are a whole lot of us who will fight to the death, although we won't do the dying. We're not going to let our country become this. We are not going to let our country become this. I'm telling you, homeboys and hillbillies and Hebrews come together. Bernie Moreno was explaining why the DSA loved what Tony Fauci did to the country.
Ultimately, what these communists, by the way, I think it's way too nice to call them socialists, what they want is to control us, Sean. Yeah. This is about controlling
That's why the masks. Remember what I told you about the masks? They broadcast fear.
American people. He treated us like lab rats.
It also shows that you're down, that you have submitted.
And that's what you want to give power to Democrats.
You are under control.
So listen, communists in this country, they will take away your freedoms. They will take away your liberties. They'll control you. They'll replace you. They want to systematically destroy this country. And that's why Fauci is their hero.
Yeah.
He got to do what they only fantasize about, which is total and complete control of the American people.
Yeah, you got to tell them where they could go, what businesses could be open, what shutting down the churches, which they want to do, among other things. It really was quite breathtaking. Adam Schiff is a weasel, one of the most despicable human beings ever. I mean, despicable. I don't know how you could possibly think that he is a likable individual or a decent or a respectable person. Honestly, even if you're a Democrat. Disgusting human being. The Democrat Party has let the vampires into the party, into the house. Welcome the vampires. What happens when the vampires are welcome to the house? Everybody dies. Adam Schiff doesn't know that his wing of the party is already dead.
Over a third, actually, of Democrats now identify as, we've got a new poll out here at CNN tonight, which finds
Aaron Burnett asking
about just over a third, actually, of Democrats now identify as Democratic socialists. 59% of them, right? So 60% are younger than the age of 45. Are you on board with this? Do you see this as, accept this, that this is where your party's going? And are you good with it?
Look, I think we're a big tent party. Wow. I think we should be a big tent party, and I would rather be in that big tent in the majority than be a smaller party that is stuck forever in the minority.
The Democrat Party will elect Satan himself if they think Satan can win, even knowing that Satan will take over the world and plunge humanity into turmoil and suffering. They don't freaking care. They're really awful people. Really, really awful people. There's this woman named Francesca Hong. She is a Democrat socialist in the state of Wisconsin. She's running for governor. If she becomes the governor of Wisconsin, people will stream out of the state of Wisconsin. Wisconsin will become a dystopian hellhole.
The national DSA has recently passed a platform that including things like abolishing the Senate, prisons, and ICE. You say that you don't agree with some parts of their national platform.
Now, what you're going to hear from her is a complete lie. Everything that she says is a lie.
Are you trying to have it both ways by embracing that label, but also backing away from some aspects of the platform?
So I do not have the endorsement from the National DSA and this recent platform that was released. There are issues that I disagree on, but my values and my principles are rooted in democracy, in fairness.
No, they're not.
In human rights.
No, they're not.
And ensuring that we are fixing a rigged system that doesn't put working class people first. And we are a campaign focused.
That's absolute fabrication.
On the work and the workers.
We have the richest working class in the world.
So you may distance yourself from the National Party, but you do consider yourself a democratic socialist, right?
Listen.
Yes, because it allows me to make sure that the policies...
She just admitted what she said she wasn't.
...that we are supporting, the universal policies that will build permanent affordability, universal child care, paid leave for all, investing in that care economy with...
And you'll become Cuba. Sean Hannity looked through her social media. She's down with every communist idea from the DSA.
Again, her name, Francesca Hong, that she proudly posted.
By the way, at the end of this, you're going to hear my theme song for her.
Posted on X, quote, police exist to uphold white supremacy. Defund them, abolish, reform cannot be an option.
Yep.
Or just to drive the point home, she also tweeted her plans as a local government official, quote, 1, defund police, 2, defund police, 3, defund police, 4, defund police, 5, craft.
If you idiots in Wisconsin vote this woman in, you deserve what you get.
2021 budget. But get
you idiots in Madison.
This, more recently, she did find one acceptable use of law enforcement as governor. She would want to command the National Guard to arrest federal ICE agents.
I don't want us to continue to rely on law enforcement, but if the National Guard has to be out here arresting ICE agents, that's...
Now, despite the...
That would be the start of a civil war.
From her campaign, she also called in writing for the U.S. Senate to be abolished. In 2020, she suggested that it was racist for white people to mention the origins of COVID-19.
Okay, it's time for her theme song. Her name, Francesca Hong. There you go. That's her official theme song, Hong Kong Phooey. That's a Gen X cartoon. That was we had terrible cartoons when I was growing up. We had Hong Kong Phooey, Scatman Crothers singing the theme song with the only good thing about it, Inch High Private Eye, Grape Ape, and Jabberjaw. And then to top it all off, the worst of the worst, the Laugh Olympics. Yeah, and look, and we're not even messed up like Gen Z. Unbelievable. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. A high end on it.
In debt, which means
deported. 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 Get them out. Ready? Are you ready? Get them out of here. Get them out of here. Get the hell out of here. Deported. 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 Get them out. Ready? Are you ready? Get them out of here. Get them out of here. Get the hell out of here.
M.
Gonna rejoin.
But in most places on earth, they believe that your rights come from your government and from your laws. But ours was founded on the belief that your rights come from your Creator and from God.
And the Democrat Socialists of America don't believe in God. They don't. This is happening in Spain.
Wild video here. Chaos at the border of Spain's North African enclave in Morocco. This is a city called Ceuta. You're watching as thousands of migrants break through the fence and completely overwhelm the border police. Their video.
This is what they did in America for 4 years under Joe Biden.
Showing huge groups of people, mostly young military-age guys, cramming into
exact same thing.
Inflatable tubes or arriving on shore in other ways, some of them wading in the water as they break through the gates to get to the other side. Sandra, this is reminiscent of kind of what we saw during the open border.
Yeah, it's all the same damn thing. A survey, here's why. Do you want to know why they're doing this in Spain? You want to hear it? They've got a socialist in charge, and that socialism is failing. Survey in Spain found 6 out of 10 Spaniards hold a negative opinion of Spain's current legislative term and socialist Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez's government, with as many as a third strongly condemning the legislature as disastrous, nefarious, and ruinous. So what they're doing is they're invading the country to overthrow the country, to eliminate Spain's sovereignty. This is what socialists do. This is what they would do if they won here. We are on a war footing. Spain will now hold elections next year, although the Spanish Conservative People's Party obtained the most amount of seats in the October 2023 election. Sanchez and his Spanish Socialist Workers' Party managed to cling to power by securing alliances with minority leftist parties, allowing PSOE to secure enough votes for Sanchez's current 4-year term. So they're burning the house down before they get fired and replaced by a conservative regime. According to the study, 60% of Spaniards hold some sort of negative opinion of the current Spanish legislature against a minority 12% who finds a good, positive, and competent. Of the 60% majority group of 30.3% of respondents finds it disastrous. Other equally condemning opinions: deceitful, fraudulent, chaotic, unstable, confusing, disappointing. All of those things. Unsurprisingly, 53.6% of respondents expressed a negative opinion of the mass amnesty for illegal migrants. That's why they've opened the border. This SOB, who's in charge of this country, should be charged with treason and sedition, because this is what he's doing. He's allowing his country to be overthrown rather than him to lose the next election. Doesn't that sound kind of familiar? It's exactly what the globalists are doing. That's why we have to fight them, no matter what it takes. No matter what it takes. We have to defeat communism. It's not going to live in this country. It's not going to. There's 100 million of us out there. Homeboys, hillbillies, and Hebrews, and others. We are not going to let it happen. That said, I think it's time for a little good news. What do you think about good news? And what do you think of when we have good news, boys and girls? Yeah, it's the winning jingle, everybody.
We love to win. Winning, so much winning. It's lots of winning. Lots of winning, lots of winning, lots of winning, lots of winning, lots of winning. It's oh so good.
You know why that's so popular, that jingle is so popular? Because that's one of those Gen X jingles from when we were kids. I'm just talking to the Gen Xers, pardon me, millennials, and Gen Zers, and boomers. That's the beefaroni, beefaghetti jingle, by the way, in case you wanted to know. Beefaroni, beefaghetti, it tastes so good. You remember that? We were talking earlier about the terrible cartoons that Gen X were subjected to as children. Friday nights before the cartoon season, they would do this special. It was an hour long. We're talking previewing the new cartoons. And then we couldn't wait to see them. Then the next morning, we'd sit in front of the TV, and you'd watch cartoons all morning. And then about 11 o'clock, it was Bill Cosby and the Cosby Kids, and then American Bandstand, or my preferred, Soul Train, because the music was better and the women were hotter. That said, Captain Caveman was one that I forgot. What a terrible cartoon. Jabberjaw, terrible. Laugh Olympics, terrible. Inch High Private Eye, terrible. Hong Kong Phooey, my God, Vomitus, terrible. But you know what? That's what we had. That's what we get. Here's the good news. Jobless claims still at the lowest time since the 60s.
Jobless claims, 197,000. That's once again under 200,000, which was expected.
And then between the cartoons, there was America Rocks or Time for Timer.
And last month's 187 becomes 188 as we continue to hover in numbers that really were the late 60s. Yeah. 197, though, of course, does comp. We've had some numbers in that area. Yeah. 197 would take us to the last week in April when it was 190. These are unbelievably contained numbers. I know. And once again, I'm not sure how much info it gives us. Probably a lot of fraud taken out of these programs over the last year.
Yeah, here's some other good news. Jesse Waters always does a great job running down the laundry list of how we're kicking Iran's butt. We'll start with General Kane here, Jack Keane, I should say, and then all the good news that's happening in Iran as we're kicking Iran's butt.
But this is daylight attacks, night attacks, and they're going on for a couple of weeks.
We're armed and dangerous. The War Department struck a multi-billion-dollar deal.
Listen to this.
For more Patriots. They're valuable. The Patriots have been protecting Saudi oil out in the Red Sea.
You bet.
The Navy also ordered 9 new attack ships, each one holding 40 Tomahawks and the Future Hypersonic Long-Range Strike Missile.
Yeah.
And they run on nuclear, so no need to refuel for about 33 years.
I know, it's kind of cool.
On top of that, 5 new Columbia-class Boomer submarines.
Boomer!
Over 20,000 tons of pure force carrying the Trident II D5 nuclear ballistic missile. Once deployed, she'll be hauling most of our sea-based nukes. The blockade's already armed to the teeth. The P-8 Poseidon's been hunting the Iranian Mosquito fleet over the strait.
Pew, pew.
And our Devil Dogs are waiting on our warships ready for action.
Devil Dogs.
Now the Saudis are joining in the fight, launching devastating blows to Iranian militia targets in Iraq. The gay Ayatollah's terrified. Reports say he's using a body double. His own caretakers don't even know if they're taking care of him or a fake. If he's still alive, he better stay in his cave because Trump's ready to slice off another layer of leadership.
There you go. That's the good news coming out of Iran, and we are kicking butt and taking names, most of those names, Muhammad. And you know what, Democrats, you've been... You have absolutely disparaged our military. You've never supported them, and they've done a brilliant job, and we commend them as they bring down that source of terror for 47 years, whether Democrats like it or not. Mary Walter joins us next. Don't go anywhere. Hey guys, it's Carson for Relief Factor. When it comes to supplements, 2 things matter most: that it works and that you can trust it. I trust Relief Factor. We hear from people every single day whose lives have changed. And, of course, we'd like you to hear a few of their stories. Mark, for instance, was in tears from his daily hand joint discomfort. But after a week on Relief Factor, he felt 50% better. Now he barely even notices any pain. I can attest to this. It used to hurt getting up and out of chairs or even off the bench press at the gym. Not so much anymore. People like Mark make it easy to find out if you'll be the next person telling us a Relief Factor story and how it gave you your life back. 3 weeks now for just $17.76. Simply go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. They'll do everything they can to help. We hope you'll be sharing your story too. ReliefFactor.com or 800-4RELIEF.
The Rob Carson Show is presented by Paramount Plus.
This isn't the end of a fight. It's the start of one. Lioness, the critically acclaimed original series from Taylor Sheridan, returns August 2nd only on Paramount Plus. It's the new season. Hidden networks, foreign operatives, and personal betrayals collide while Joe walks the line between duty and family. Don't miss Lioness, starring Zoe Saldana, Michael Kelly, with Morgan Freeman and Nicole Kidman, streaming August 2nd only on Paramount Plus.
Hoothies, goodbye. Hoothies, you'll die. Your killing days are over. You're gonna need more than a four-leaf clover. Hoothies, you're through. No one feels bad for you. Wiping you out, ending all doubt. If you're destroyed, I doubt that anybody would pout. Hoothies, goodbye. And I'm sure you know why. Trump's bombing you. What will you do? Ending your reign of terror is overdue. Hoothies, they're on the run. Hoothies are done.
Hi, it's Tony Marino, host of the super popular Newsmax Daily Podcast, a rundown of the day's top headlines and top highlights of Newsmax shows and interviews you may have missed, plus some sports, stock markets, and even some yucks, all packed into about 20 minutes. Search for the Newsmax Daily with me, Tony Marino, on your favorite podcast platform, and check out our entire lineup of great podcasts, including Greg Kelly, Rob Carson, and Jerry Callahan at newsmax.com/listen.
Hey guys, it's Carson for Ghost Bed. Do you really want another summer like last summer, barely sleeping because you were too hot all night? People blame summer heat for bad sleep when it really may be their mattress trapping heat. And if you already sleep hot, summer only makes it worse. That's why I switched to Ghost Bed. Helps keep you cool all night, no waking up sweaty, tossing and turning, or throwing the covers off at 2 a.m. Cooling tech is built into every mattress. It's not some expensive upgrade you have to pay extra for. Hot sleepers are some of Ghost Bed's happiest customers. Read the reviews. You get incredible support, less stiffness, deeper sleep, more rested mornings. I got my Ghost Bed about 6 months ago, and it changed my life. Ghost Bed gives you 101 nights to try it at home. You can sleep on it all summer long and feel the difference for yourself. How many more summers are you going to waste on bad sleep? Ghost Bed is currently having their 4th of July sale, offering my audience an extra 10% off. Go to ghostbed.com/Carson. Use the promo code Carson. That's ghostbed.com/Carson, promo code Carson.
Give me a countdown. 3, 2, 1.
But there's something about Mary that they don't know. Mary. There's just something about Mary.
You know, I don't think I've ever asked Mary Walter if you've seen the movie There's Something About Mary. Have you seen the movie?
Of course I've
seen
the
movie. Oh, my God.
Movie.
It's such
not see the movie.
It's such a good movie. I mean,
it is. It's really funny.
It's a masterpiece. It's an absolute masterpiece. Welcome to the show.
I would call it a masterpiece.
Oh, I would, yes. as far as comedy is concerned, did you realize that, the two guys at the beginning who sing, they sing and they set it up, there's something about America?
Yes.
That is a convention taken from the 1960s movie. It was with Jane Fonda. Can't remember, but anyway, it was a throwback to us. What was the name of her? She was in a Western. It was really funny. It was a comedy. But anyway, think about it. But it's a genius. It's a genius movie. It really is. I would say it's Gen X's Blazing Saddles almost. Just as offensive. Not quite as offensive, actually. So how's your week been, by the way?
My week has been a little crazy,
Really?
and I'm going on the air in an hour and a half.
Well, all right. Well, you do a lot of shows around the country, by the way. We know this. What'd you think of the Tony Fauci pleading the fifth 111 times? I got to hear your thoughts on this.
Okay, listen, I know it was on really early in the morning, but I was so tempted to pop a beer or open a bottle of bourbon and just watch this. Right? And I was just like, I don't know. I'm still in bed. It started at 9 o'clock in the morning. It's not even double digits yet. What do I do? So I was super tempted. Obviously, I did not, but I did have popcorn for breakfast. But it was so good. And what was even better was the left tap dancing to try to figure out how to cover for him.
I know, and all of the, what's it, Abby Normal over on CNN, Abby Phillips, whatever, and Scott Jennings going at it, and it really is remarkable. It really is remarkable. It's very obvious what this man did. Okay, he is America's Mengele, and now we know that there's no depths to which the Democrat Party and the liberal media will defend the left or Democrats. And I mean, this is it. I mean, this is. I don't know what else. I don't know how. They can't go lower. They can't go lower.
But they can, because there was no coverage of Anthony Fauci's diary on the mainstream, on ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN. They did nothing. That doesn't even exist to their viewers. They know nothing about that.
Yeah, it's remarkable.
And when you say something to them, they think you're lying. Oh, you're a Trumper.
Of course.
Like, no, that's actually. Oh, well, show me. And then you send them something like, well, that's Newsmax, or that's Fox, or that's blah blah blah. blah.
And then they say, look,
propaganda.
Look, here's the Washington Post article on it, and it's supposed to give it credibility.
But when those outlets don't publish it or broadcast it, then to them it doesn't exist.
I know. You're exactly right. It's like the no candy aisle in a toddler. You just go to the no candy aisle; they don't even know it's there.
Exactly.
You're a wine drinker?
No, I'm allergic.
What? You're allergic to wine? Really?
Mm-hmm.
My goodness. Well, sales are so low in California that California wineries are burning their vineyards. Did you hear about this?
No, it's another thing you can blame on Gen Z. They ruined that too.
Well, also I would mention it probably not the easiest thing in the world to have a business in the state of California, but yeah, Gen Z is either not drinking or they are not drinking hoity-toity wine. They like White Claw and that sort of stuff, I guess, is what they're drinking these days. My daughter does not drink at all, and I'm grateful for that, actually. Yeah, I think it's fantastic. But the fall grape harvest began in California this month. Thousands of tons of grapes expected to be left on the vine. Again, wineries expected to close out in the next 2 years. Industry is hitting rock bottom. That is just remarkable. One of the things in this article I'm reading from Suya Karamangla nailed it. She talked about the damage that the movie Sideways did to some wines like Merlot. Did you see?
I didn't see the movie, but I don't blame the crash of the wine industry. And then I think it's kind of like what you're seeing happen in bourbon now. Wine was very, very, very trendy, and you had wine mommies, and everybody had their wine, especially during COVID. It was all about the wine, and everybody was drinking wine. Yep. And then it's so all these people get into it. Oh, wine's so hot. We're gonna get into it, and rich people get celebrities.
Yep.
They sink their money into vineyards. Same thing happened with bourbon. There was 10,000 little bourbon distilleries. Same thing with beer, right?
Yep.
When craft beer was big, all of a sudden everybody's in it. So it's the same thing. It becomes a glut on the market. Everybody jumps in, and then there's so many that you can only sustain. So much alcohol consumption.
Yeah.
I know some people try super hard.
Well,
but
one of the other reasons that I think the California vineyards are crashing is I stopped drinking 6 years ago.
There you go. See, it's your fault.
We did the what was the Franzia in the box? You know, we called it recession wine, and then we just called it wine.
Yeah, my mother was a big wine in the box.
Oh yeah,
connoisseur.
Wine in the box. There you go. Let me see. I got a whole bunch of stuff I want to get to on the show. Men don't actually multitask worse; they just stop talking. This is a new study. Men and women multitask about equally well overall, but men talk far less when they're under pressure, and that silence, rather than any skill gap, may be what feeds the stereotype that women multitask better. What do you think about that?
I don't know. You know, someone told my husband, and it's so true, that women think with their mouths, so we have to talk it out as we're doing it.
Yeah.
Like, we have to talk it out.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Like, if that's how you get through it, God bless you. You know, that's fine. But I just think, I don't know if I buy that. I just don't know if I buy it. I think to some degree it's an individual thing as well. When you have kids and you're working, if you're a woman, you have kids and you're working, you are multitasking your butt off. Your husband goes to work during the day, you go to work, but you're the one responsible for the fact of whether there's any milk there for breakfast in the morning. You're the one responsible for what's going to happen, what are we going to have for dinner. So I think there's more of the household chores are incumbent upon women. That inequality has never really righted itself.
It wasn't that way in my marriage. I did everything.
And you're divorced.
I did every damn thing. I should have made her do some damn housework.
Exactly.
You know, it's interesting because when I do a task, when I'm putting something together, for instance, I got this cart that I bought for the studio here in Washington, D.C., and I open up this damn box, and there's like 300 screws, and I'm like, holy hell. The greatest challenge of my life was to assemble something in the Newsmax studios without screeching profanity like I do when I put together IKEA furniture. It was something else. It was like, it was really hard. You can't curse in the Newsmax building.
I find it hard to believe that when you're multitasking, you don't talk the entire time through the whole thing. You could be the person who disproves it, because I can't even begin to imagine that bliss.
I talk in my sleep.
I know you do.
Do you?
Well, I don't
well,
know that
do you?
I'm sure that you do.
Well, there's a little rumor for everybody. Mary says Rob Carson talks in his sleep.
No. Because if that were true, I would have smothered you a long time ago.
Oh God,
so
yes, you would have smothered me with
it's not true.
You would have smothered me with a MyPillow.
You have to use MyPillow because there's no feathers. So it's easier to get away with.
So I got a bunch of other stuff I want to talk to you about. Some drivers are taking extreme measures to ignore all of the new technology in cars because it's becoming an enormous pain in the butt to learn all of it. Also, suicidal empathy. A New York City student, an NYU student, says she would not want her rapist jailed. It gets weird. We're going to cover that and much more on the other side of the break with Mary Walter. Google Mary Walter Radio, by the way. This is the Rob Carson Show.
99.9 FM in Harford County.
It is a Friday, and of course, one of our unusual suspects is Mary Walter. Mary Walter Radio. Just Google it. She's everywhere. She's everywhere. She's everywhere. Have you? What year is the car that you drive? By the way, do you have a newer car? Do you have an older car? What do you drive?
Well, my car is 2017, but we just got a new car that's a 2026.
A 2026? I have a 2022 Bronco, which I thought was stolen yesterday. Did you hear about this? I go out of the parking garage.
I did.
It was gone. It was gone. I was like Pee Wee Herman when his bike got stolen. If you would have told me that Buck was in the basement of the Alamo, I would have taken a flight there. I was freaking out.
Did they call and tell the police that there was someone on drugs there because you were battling so quickly?
I fortunately have him back, and I actually slept in him last night. It was a very intense moment. So apparently,
Wait.
What?
Why was he towed? What did you do? Or not do?
I parked on the line slightly into the next space in the parking garage at my apartment complex. I didn't know that they hire somebody to go through the lot, and if you're partially in another space, they tow the damn car. You know what else they do, which is not legal? If your tag is expired, the private towing company will tow your car to their impound lot. That's not a force. They're not a law enforcement agency. So I said, you get me in touch with those guys. I almost set them straight. But by the way, they refunded my money. Thank you very much.
Well, first of all, you own a big vehicle and you park like a jerk. So
no, I do not. It's not a very big vehicle, and I don't park like a jerk.
Bronco.
You're
That's a large
wrong.
vehicle. It's an urban assault vehicle.
Compared to you, what do you drive?
Do you need an
you
urban
drive
assault
a
vehicle?
Prius? What do you drive? A Prius?
No. Why do you need an urban assault vehicle in a city?
Because I am my age, and it's my testosterone replacement therapy.
That's what I figured.
And it's also a metaphor for a lot of other things. These drivers are taking extreme measures to avoid new car technology. A lot of people are literally trying to find either older cars or cars that have less technology because it's become so overwhelming. All of this stuff, all of the lane departure alert, all of the other things that you need to do in the car, all of the things. Like there was a story in this article about a woman. She's kind of a slight individual sitting there. And there's a thing, if you start to kind of nod your head a little bit, the car will wake you up. It'll like jerk the car to wake you up. And there are people who are saying, I don't want this. There are people who are like putting tape on their dashboard to show which buttons to push. That was one of the worst things I hated about selling cars, is showing people how to run all the gadgets. But do you know all of the stuff on your 2026?
No.
Yeah.
And I don't care.
You don't care? You're not going to try to figure it all out?
No, don't care. And honestly, my husband drives it more than I do. It's a Jeep Wrangler, and because I was the Jeep fan, I was the one who got the first Jeep. I'm like,
hold on a second. Your husband drives the same damn car that I do, but a lesser version. It's a Jeep. And you're saying that I'm the guy who parks like a jerk and I got a monster truck? Are you kidding me?
It's a Jeep Wrangler that I'm sure is smaller than your Bronco. It's not ours. Is not considered an SUV.
Does he have ducks? Does he have ducks on the dashboard? Does he have ducks on the dashboard?
No. No.
Is it a four-door? Is it a four-door or a two-door?
This one's a four-door. The last one was a two-door. We were going to go back with a two-door again, but we decided that we never put anyone in the back seat because no one could ever get in there.
Yeah. Yeah,
it was really hard in the Jeep to get to the back seat.
I hate to tell you this, the Jeep Wrangler four-door is longer than the Bronco. Thank you very much.
Well, it's funny because, we don't live in a city, number one, and if we did, we wouldn't drive that car into a city because it's an urban assault vehicle it's too big.
All right, let me play this. Nick Shirley was out in, I don't understand this. You got Queers for Palestine. Makes a lot of sense because if you go to, you can throw off a building. Nick Shirley asked this NYU student about if, because they want to get rid of prisons and all this, about the most idiotic thing you can imagine. And I want you to listen to this woman. She is purely just mentally ill.
Let's just say somebody who has raped a woman.
Totally.
Would you like them to be out in the street?
I think my answer is yes, even though that's a challenging answer to say.
So
if you got raped, would you like your rapist to be out in the street?
Well, let me finish. Because I have been raped, and they are out in the street. And I'm not sure, them going to jail is a solution to like whatever's going on inside their heart, or even my own heart, that like contributed to that experience that I'm having. And I don't want more people to get raped, but I don't know for certain that going into a jail in the United States is going to shift anything inside of their like operating system, so that
she considers being a rapist their operating system, Mary.
Is it me, or is there just an unusually large number of these wacky women who claim to have been sexually assaulted? You know, look at E. Jean Carroll, who wrote a book about the horrible men, and she claims she has been sexually assaulted and or raped, something like 31 times. Like, it's ridiculous. It's just odd. I'm not discrediting what this chick says. I don't know her, but I'm just saying it's just a weird thing that I've noticed.
Yeah, and also I'll mention this is the same pathos of the Manson family. This is the same. This is what the women who fall in love with death row inmates. You ever notice that men never fall in love with female death row inmates? There's something weird about it.
Because men don't want a woman who can kick his butt.
Is that what it is? Is that what it is? So Eileen,
you marry a woman who's more manly than they are.
Well, I don't know. I saw Eileen Wuornos when she was alive. She was pretty hot.
She was missing teeth.
It is just to me. It's just bizarre. This is a mental illness. This is brought on by leftism, and it is something that it seems to be unique, more so with young women than others. And we also know that liberal women, younger women, have a mental illness 60% of the time. So not a big surprise, right?
Suicidal empathy.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. We got to wrap up the segment here. Mary, always great to have you on. I don't know if suicidal empathy is a great way to end the segment, but certainly a delightful conversation. Will you tell everybody?
Yeah, here we are.
here we are. Tell everybody where they can find your glorious presence online, and where are you going to be on air today, by the way?
I'm going to plug another radio station.
Okay, no problem.
I'm not going to do that.
Okay,
I mean,
that's all right. Tell me about.
I would, but I don't think you want me to do that.
No, I won't do that.
I am going to be on the West Coast. If you follow my social media, Mary Walter Radio, you can find out. And you can also see all my Newsmax hits and where I'm going to be all over next week. I'm doing all radio. I'm all over the place, and with like 10,000 Newsmax hits in between, and
You're
no
awesome.
sleep. So
all right,
great.
girl. Have a glorious weekend. Always great to talk to you. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. Hi, kids. She's fun. Oh, you know what I'm going to do next? You know what I'm going to do next? I'm going to play something funny. Hello. Who's watching? Hello, Andrew Man. Purging the military, not through jump duty. Okay, I'm going to delete you because you're Andrew Man has just been blocked and deported. Blocked and deported, yeah! Who else we got? Mickey Hastings, you're cool. I'm always watching for the troll, and when you troll, I kick your arse off of the chat immediately. Don't even try. Don't even try. Mo M167, Valentina, how are you today? Wild Bill West. How's things? Liberal language assault vehicle. A vehicle has never assaulted anyone. Except for the movie Maximum Overdrive. Okay. Manly Bronco. You know what? I like the look of the Bronco, and I love my Bronco. But she's got a four-door Jeep, and the Jeep is longer than the Bronco. The four-door Jeep is longer than the Bronco. And then to put the bed on the back of it, the Gladiator, the Gladiator is like 3 feet longer, 4 feet longer. And, by the way, Jeeps get piss poor reviews, and they cost a lot of money to keep going. Once you go past the warranty, they're not very good cars. I thought about having one. I don't know what you got, so I'm going to go ahead and delete you. Hide comment. Somebody named Kai Bob over on the Facebook. I'm deleting you. Bye, Kai Bob. You're a fool. Hide comment. Bye-bye. All right, I got to talk. All right. This is not an EV. And it never will be. So with Jasmine Crockett, everything is about race. And now she's claiming that black women are the most intelligent.
You need to talk to any and everybody about voting, because as they have the conversation about a monolith, no, we are not a monolith. But certain things apply to all of us. Number one, when they decided to go after, quote unquote, DEI, black women, the most educated demographic in this country, somehow ended up the most unemployed.
Okay, actually, here's the breakdown of women of color and bachelor's degree or higher. Asian women, number one with 56% compared to black women, 23 or 29%, Hispanic or Latina, 22%, Hawaiian Island, Pacific Islander, 21%. So there is that. And if you have any doubt about the intelligence of Jasmine Crockett, let me just reminisce.
Someone on this committee then starts talking about somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body that would not be engaging in personalities, correct?
A what now?
Chairman.
Yeah, Jasmine Crockett is Deb. She is a societal Deb from St. Louis. She is. She went to a private Catholic school in St. Louis. She's a debutante from St. Louis. She just
And
talks
what we not
ghetto.
gonna do is stand around while they pull this bull they trying to pull right now. We are gonna be in your face. We are gonna be on your asses.
Jasmine Crockett, crazy as she can be.
We came up with this on this show, by the way, right here, yeah.
She's a racist from the Lone Star State.
She's a Deb.
Full of anger, full of hate.
She talks ghetto.
During a protest at the Treasury, she had a meltdown for all the world to see. Jasmine Crockett, she hates you if you're white.
She's not very smart either, and she's going to be out of Congress soon. Yay!
She threw a tantrum just like Maxine, who wears the worst wig you have ever seen.
Oh my God.
She tried to take on Nancy Mace. That idea blew up in her face. Jasmine Crockett belongs in a padded cell.
Yeah.
When will she be committed? Only time will tell.
Yeah, I don't know what she's going to do when she gets out of Congress, because Jerry Springer died a few years ago. So she can't be a panelist on the Jerry Springer show anymore. All right, hour number 3 of the Rob Carson Show. Christian Toto on the way. Also, bad news for the mayor of New York City and his pied-à-terre tax. Don't go anywhere.
The Rob Carson Show is presented by Paramount Plus. The Rob Carson Show is presented by Paramount Plus.
You don't need to live with aches and pains. Visit ReliefFactor.com today.
America, on air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
And by the grace of God, it is finally Friday. Finally, the last hour of the show today. Last hour of the show today. Christian Toto at the bottom of the hour. I'm going to go see The Odyssey with my daughter tonight. And we'll see what happens. I don't know. There's a lot of people mad at it because it's woke or whatever. I don't know. I trust my son's judgment. He should have gone to film school. His mother made him go to accounting school. I know. But anyway, he loves film, and I trust his judgment. And he says it's a really good movie. So whatever. If it's a good movie, it's going to be a good movie. If it's not, it's not. There you go. There you go. My TV show is called Rob Carson's What in the World? Let me just say right now, we could use the help with the ratings because it's played at 3 in the afternoon on a Saturday. I know you're thinking, 3 in the afternoon, Saturday, perfect spot for a comedy show. Ugh. No, it's not. But that said, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday. Sunday night, much better, following Dr. Michael Savage show on Newsmax. Newsmax is awesome, by the way. I am in the Newsmax studios, by the way. And if you're tired of the big media, I'm going to tell you, the lineup on Newsmax is so good. I wrote Carl Higbie today because he did a mic drop yesterday. Commentary on Anthony Fauci and pleading the fifth. And it was damn good. And I wrote him this morning. I said, brother, that was just great. And I write Finnerty and I watch Schmidt all the time because they are just great. Rob Finnerty, Rob Schmidt. If you don't know, honestly, these guys are just great. A great lineup every night on Newsmax and all day. And if you're just tired of the same old nonsense, if you're tired of anchors that change their stripes, Greg Kelly don't change his stripes for nobody. All right? Carl Higbie doesn't change his stripes for nobody. Greta von Sussman, just a great journalist. I don't even know if she's left or right. I really don't. I think she leads into conservative. I don't know. But she's great. She's a very diminutive person. She's very tiny, and she's really, really super smart. I see her all the time here. She's a vegan. Did you know that? That's kind of crazy. Greta, Carl Higbie, Rob Finnerty, more. Get the Newsmax Plus app, newsmax.com, newsmaxplus.com for immediate access. You get a Newsmax Plus membership and download the Newsmax app because it really is. I'm blessed to work for Newsmax. Again, my TV show is called Rob Carson's What in the World? Over many election cycles, what's known as a generic congressional ballot has been a pretty good indicator of how we can expect the U.S. House to fall during the midterm. The latest Economist YouGov poll has Republicans down 4 points, but the latest Republican poll has the GOP down by only 2 points. Wait a minute. So the Reuters poll has us down by 2, which means we're really ahead by 6. Because the Democrat Party uses polling to depress the vote by saying the Republicans aren't going to win. When was the last time that a Republican for president was ahead in the polls before Election Day and actually won? Ta-da! Any other Democrats? Ta-da! No, they never are ahead in the polling, so there you go. Screw that. In a previous Economist YouGov poll, the GOP was down 5 points, so that's a move and a single point in the desired direction. Real Clear Politics polls shows Democrats up by 5. The spread has been fairly consistent. But the Democrat Party has nothing to show for itself, and they've gone full-on socialist insane. Tim Robbins, I played a little segment of his interview with Joe Rogan. I would break bread with Tim Robbins. I would break bread with Tim Robbins. And I want you to listen to it because the last 10 years has been a series of psyops, whether it be January the 6th, whether it be the summer of 2020 with, defund the police, and cops are all racist, and it's 1968 all over again. All of it was absolute bullcrap. Erasing history, tearing down statues of Columbus, getting rid of the Dixie Chicks, getting rid of the Washington Redskins. They're talking about returning to the Redskins. They should, because all they're doing is insulting Native Americans. Native American braves and warriors used to call each other Redskins. They considered it a badge of honor. And when you take away a Native American mascot, you are erasing the history of Native Americans to some degree. Because nobody chooses a Native American mascot. Nobody chooses a mascot because they're weak. They choose a mascot to be intimidating. The Kansas City Chiefs, actually named after a former mayor of Kansas City, they called him the Chief. But the Braves, the Seminoles, all of this. The reason why they're named that is because they want to intimidate their opponents, and they look at it as a sign of strength and honor. So there you go, you morons. But these are all these things that the left has done, these psyops, and Tim Robbins is on to it. He's talking to Joe Rogan about that.
I suspect that whole period of time was another way to divide us, in the
He's talking about COVID.
Larger picture, the orchestrated chaos masquerading as a revolution,
That was 2020.
It's there's been so many of those things over the past 5 years, that have, alliances that you're building, and then all of a sudden there's a new crisis, and now you don't like.
Yes, there's always another crisis. You never let a good crisis go to waste, Democrats.
Those people that you were building alliances with, and it's just one after the other. And I ultimately, at the end of the day, I think it's all about division. It's all about dividing us and making us argue with each other, not finding common ground. And
100%.
That's ultimately the strategy that's been used from time immemorial, for the power to stay in power. How do you get people fighting with each other?
Right. Wow. Kaboom. But the positive is many of us are coming together. Many like John Fetterman. There are some Democrats who are showing some degree of common sense, and I believe that there are more Democrats out there who are voters who are not in leadership in the Democrat Party who still believe in the dream of America. I believe that. Victor Davis Hanson did a great piece. Dems' hatred of Trump created this socialist monster, and now it's turning on them. I had mentioned last week that it was like when you send all these kids to college, they hate America, they get rid of God in the public square, they chase the Ten Commandments out of the classroom, they celebrate or ignore Mao Zedong or the Soviet Union, communism in Cuba, etc., and then you badmouth the United States as a slave nation, etc. Eventually, you're going to create a bunch of young people who are virulently anti-American and very, very resentful and awful, which is the DSA. And who are they taking over? The Democrat Party. So they created the Frankenstein monster, and it's coming back to bite them in the butt. So the pied-à-terre tax. Bruce Blakeman is running for governor in the state of New York, and he's saying he's going to get rid of the pied-à-terre tax, which is a tax for no good reason. It is for people who have a second home in New York City that's worth $5 million or $5 million at least, and they just decided to slap a tax on it because class envy. And then they decided to mark the people who live in these residences by putting a list of the names and the addresses of these residences, like Marxists have done in the past. Bruce Blakeman vows to axe the pied-à-terre tax, among other things. By the way, New York on the verge of having its first Republican governor in 20 years, as a new poll shows that the Bruce Blakeman is nipping at Kathy Hochul's heels. Yeah, what's up, Doc? Yeah, just look at a picture of Kathy Hochul, you'll understand on that one. Here is Dr. Stephen Turley, rocking the universe. He's fantastic, talking about how the pied-à-terre tax not a good idea for Zoran.
I'm just going to come out and say it. Mamdani's in a lot of hot water right now. Even Democrats are admitting it. And it's not just political. It could be, in fact, legal. He gone done a little doo-doo here, right?
If Stephen Turley said he gone done a little doo-doo, that's funny.
You're not familiar with it. Mamdani published a searchable database naming and listing addresses of New York City property owners potentially subject to the new pied-à-terre tax on non-primary luxury residences. Mamdani was absolutely giddy when he announced it. He couldn't wait to tax American citizens. But this database actually makes public where these people live. Yeah. Mamdani's administration compiled, cleaned, and organized this data into an easily searchable single database, explicitly singling out, quote, the rich. Uniswap founder Hayden Adams called it the worst mass doxing he's ever seen. This mirrors patterns that we saw in Europe some decades ago, where similar wealth address lists encouraged the masses to go visit them, publishing the addresses of the wealthy. historically actually preceded kidnappings and violent attacks.
Yeah. That's what they want. That's what the Marxists want. If Blakeman wins the governorship, there's a real good chance. Well, he's going to get rid of the pied-à-terre, and he could actually get rid of Zoran. That'd be nice. Here's Jim Gossett singing about the pied-à-terre tax on the Rob Carson Show. I know we have a song about the pied-à-terre tax. That's weird, right? It's crazy. It's cool, right?
Pied-à-terre, a new tax that is not fair. About New York homeowners, Mamdani does not care. It is sad, but it's true. He is coming after you. The city of New York, them you ought to sue. He will publish your name because he has no shame. For this awful tax he gets the blame. His doxing has to stop. Somebody call a cop. Pied-à-terre, pied-à-terre, pied-à-terre. Mamdani is insane. He cannot explain why for apartment owners he has so much disdain. I hope they will hang tough. They already pay enough. It is time to stand up and call Mamdani's bluff. They should threaten to sell. If they don't, it won't end well.
Go to hell.
Tell the mayor he can go to hell.
Go to hell.
Mamdani is far left. This is a massive theft. Pied-à-terre, pied-à-terre is not fair. Pied-à-terre, pied-à-terre is not fair.
Bravo, James. Bravo, jeez. Oh, my God. Patreon.com, Jim Gossett Comedy. That's the second killer parody of the day that he has done. He will send you two every day. Join Patreon.com, Jim Gossett Comedy. Let's take a break and come back. This is The Rob Carson Show.
WCBM.
Got to rejoin.
Poor little Democrats. Are you guys okay today? That I came in to check on you.
Yeah.
Every time Trump does something good, you guys spaz out. But you guys shut up and let him work.
Yeah. By the way, Mary Walter, we had her on last hour. I know many of you listened to the whole show. But I had mentioned there's something about Mary, which was a movie about 20 years ago, and a very, very hilarious movie. And they have these two guys who sing throughout the movie, and they introduce the different parts of the movie. There's something about Mary, blah blah blah, and they walk around with their guitars. And I said that was a convention taken from a movie in the 1960s with Jane Fonda and Lee Marvin. I just remembered what it was. Cat Ballou. Cat Ballou is a freaking hilarious movie. When I was in college, we saw it in film study, and it is an extraordinary music. And one of the roving singers in that movie was Nat King Cole, and so there's something about Mary came 40 years later, but used that convention among other things. Both of them are brilliant movies. I'd recommend watching both of them this weekend. So, Zohran Mamdani, Moron Zamkami, as I like to call him, I would love to see him removed from office. I'm hoping removed from country eventually. There's a guy on Rob Schmidt's show. His name's Brent Costantino. And I tell you what, he does man on the street really, really, really well. And he decided to go out and ask some of these bodega owners, these little grocery stores in New York City, what they think about the Zohran Moron Zamkami opening these government-run grocery stores, which will fail.
Government-owned grocery stores are coming to the Big Apple. And Mayor Mamdani says shoppers could expect a 30% discount on meat, seafood, and fresh produce like plantains.
This incredible example of produce in my hand.
Plantain, the banana you have to fry to make it edible.
Mayor Mamdani says city government is stepping in to make people's lives more affordable. But his plan is set to cost the taxpayers $70 million.
I don't know why people are so crazy about plantains. Plantanos. They're good, but no.
$dollars, and local bodega owners here in East Harlem say they're afraid they won't be able to compete.
I feel it's going to be bad for us.
When the government-owned grocery store opens, how do you think that'll impact sales here at your business?
The business is going to be slow because if they got a 30%, they're not going to come in here.
At least 20% of our buyers are definitely going to start buying over there.
You're going to lose a lot of customers, I have a lot of things here. They're going to buy cheap from over there.
We're going to lose a lot of customers.
See, these are immigrants who came to America to live the American dream. They didn't sneak across the southern border to open up a Leering center. These are people who come to New York City, one of the most expensive places in the world, open a bodega, bust their rear ends, frequently probably run their entire business with family members just to get by.
It's absolutely going to affect all the small businesses a lot.
It's going to be...
I think these are people of color.
Very difficult.
There are a lot of people of color here, no whiteys here, I guess.
To keeping open the store. I think it's an unfair competition. Maybe we have to lay off employees.
Are you afraid that this business could shut down as a result of Mayor Mamdani's city-owned grocery store?
I think so.
And how long have you been in business here?
About 19 years.
We've been here for almost 30 years, and we are about to close.
We have, worker. We have to pay for this. We have to pay for it. I have a lot of things we do.
Yeah, the grocery store, when they open, and one of them isn't expected to open until 2029, they're going to fail. But they'll probably do some damage in the meantime. The WNBA suspended Seattle Storm owner Celeste Keaton from attending the team's next 5 games after exchange with 2 fans during Tuesday's matchup with the Indiana Fever. Multiple reports said that she admonished a pair of fans who brought signs into, are you ready for this, Climate Pledge Arena. It doesn't surprise you that this leftist WNBA owner, Climate Pledge Arena. Are you out of your friggin' mind? I would never go to frickin' Climate Pledge Arena. Anyway, the supporting Fever guard Sophie Cunningham, who rocks, following her recent comments about transgender athletes. The fans told Undivided Podcast that Keaton directed expletives at them for a sign that thanked Cunningham for speaking up for girls. Here's one of the girls. She was wearing an XXYY shirt because there's a difference between the sexes, and boys shouldn't compete as girls in girls sports pretending they're women.
Just holding our signs and cheering for both teams. And this lady, older lady, comes up to us, and she comes up to us, and at first I think she's going to be nice, and then she asks, like, what are you guys doing? Something like that. And then it was like, Jesus loves everyone. That's what she told us. And I was like, oh, I know. Like, I'm religious. Like, I know. Like, I know. Nice. Yeah. And she's like, oh, I hope Jesus can forgive you for what sin you've done. And, like, something like that.
She reminds me of one of the you know, you ever seen these Episcopal lesbian ministers? And they short hair and just mad about everything. Have you ever been to? Because I went to a church like that. This person took over, and I was like, I can't go to church here anymore. It was my ex-friends in Maryland's church. It got all sorts of weird. Here's Brandy Cruz. She's a podcaster. She organized the event.
I just wish that co-owner Celeste Keaton had come up to me. I wish that I had been the one, because I was sitting front row with the girls. There was 6 of us total, and I was sort of chaperoning them. Their parents.
Yeah, somebody just said Gutfeld said she looked like Roger Ebert. That owner, what's her name, Celeste Keaton.
We're sitting up a little higher and just keeping an eye on them. I wasn't right next to the 2 girls, one of them, Annalie Wilson, who just heard from. When I looked over at halftime, Sean, and I saw her crying when she had some of the best seats in the stadium, was so excited to be there for that game, was giddy the night before, and then to look over at halftime and see her in tears. I can't even tell you what came over me in that moment. And then to find out it was the co-owner of the team, outrageous. And some of the other girls who, you know, we had secured front row seats for were also treated poorly. 2 of them, there were 2 white 30-something females. I mean, this is the typical characters who tried to trip them. They also got booed and heckled. It was outrageous.
Well, can you expect anything different at Climate Pledge Arena? Honestly, you know, the WNBA is committing suicide. And I say, you know, let them do it. Let them do it. Honestly. Look what they're doing to Caitlin Clark. The highest scoring college basketball player of all time. And they are so freaking, I guess, what do you call it when you're straight phobic? All right? So straight phobic, so left of center, so suicidal that they would cheer on men becoming women to compete with women. Let's see, I don't know, an NBA player pretend to be a woman who's, you know, mediocre player, sits on the bench, come over and play in the WNBA and kicks the butt. I would love to see that. Even if he's just faking it, I would love to see that. Coming up from HollywoodandToto.com, the one and only Christian Toto. Don't go anywhere.
The Rob Carson Show is presented by Paramount Plus.
This isn't the end of a fight. It's the start of one. Lioness, the critically acclaimed original series from Taylor Sheridan, returns August 2nd only on Paramount Plus. It's the new season. Hidden networks, foreign operatives, and personal betrayals collide while Joe walks the line between duty and family. Don't miss Lioness, starring Zoe Saldana, Michael Kelly, with Morgan Freeman and Nicole Kidman, streaming August 2nd only on Paramount Plus. Hey guys, it's Carson for Relief Factor. When it comes to supplements, 2 things matter most: that it works and that you can trust it. Jim ran out of Relief Factor twice. Both times his ache, stiffness, and pain came back. Once he restarted again, he says he felt better again. You know something's working when you run out of it. I started taking Relief Factor 6 months ago. I ride 30 miles on a Saturday morning on my mountain bike and lift weights every other day, and I feel great. People like Jim make it easy to find out if you'll be the next person telling us Relief Factor help you tackle your daily aches and pains. 3 weeks for just $17.76. Simply go to relieffactor.com or call 800-4RELIEF. They will do everything they can to help. We hope you'll be sharing your story with us too. 800-4RELIEF or relieffactor.com. Hey guys, it's Carson for Ghost Bed. Do you really want another summer like last summer, barely sleeping because you were too hot all night? People blame summer heat for bad sleep when it really may be their mattress trapping heat. And if you already sleep hot, summer only makes it worse. That's why I switched to Ghost Bed. Helps keep you cool all night, no waking up sweaty, tossing and turning, or throwing the covers off at 2 a.m. Cooling tech is built into every mattress. It's not some expensive upgrade you have to pay extra for. Hot sleepers are some of Ghost Bed's happiest customers. Read the reviews. You get incredible support, less stiffness, deeper sleep, more rested mornings. I got my Ghost Bed about 6 months ago, and it changed my life. Ghost Bed gives you 101 nights to try it at home. You can sleep on it all summer long and feel the difference for yourself. How many more summers are you going to waste on bad sleep? Ghost Bed is currently having their 4th of July sale, offering my audience an extra 10% off. Go to ghostbed.com/Carson. Use the promo code Carson. That's ghostbed.com/Carson, promo code Carson.
Dr. Anthony Fauci has saved millions and millions of lives.
He has served his country for more than half a century in public service.
He became the pandemic's public face, appearing in briefings, in magazines.
Here's Dr. Anthony Fauci.
Oh, my God.
Late night shows.
He, of course, started out a sort of national hero to all at the beginning of the COVID pandemic and has morphed into a villain for half of the country.
They tried to turn Anthony Fauci into Dr. Frankenstein.
Dr. Anthony Fauci, the grilling House Republicans gave him over the COVID pandemic.
Yeah, not exactly Dr. Frankenstein. I'm thinking more like Dr. Mingala. 100%, absolutely, and it's remarkable. The slobbering love fest that not only the liberal media had, but also Hollywood. A lot of Fauci worship. Here to talk about that from HollywoodandToto.com and the Hollywood and Toto podcast. Christian Doto, how are you, sir?
I am good. I'm a little sick to my stomach hearing those clips, though. But
you want? Hold on. Let me take it to Vomitus. Can I take it to Vomitus? Here's Julia Roberts as he is walking to the camera for her podcast.
Rad that we have maybe the coolest man on the planet right now. Wow, and there's the room. This is intense. Does anybody else have?
She sees him.
Hello. Hi there.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, this is such a thrill. How are you?
Pretty good, I guess. You know, it's a little bit like running on fumes.
Okay, did you eat this morning, Christian? Because you're probably tasting your breakfast again.
It tasted good the first time, not the second time.
Oh, brother, I got to tell you what, this really, you've got a great piece on HollywoodandToto.com talking about not only is the Fauci worship of Hollywood is a sign of bigger things.
Yeah, you know, I looked at it, first of all, that was at the beginning of the pandemic, and I think a lot of us cut Dr. Fauci some slack, and we're hoping that he had the right idea, the right mission, the right information. I think we were all not looking to attack him initially. But then as the weeks and the months went on and the rhetoric was a little bit duplicitous, a little bit flip-floppery, we said, wait a minute, what's going on with this guy? Yeah. What's the bigger story? Yes. And then, you know, several years later, we learned so much. And then just this week alone, those diaries, which are just,
oh my God,
couldn't be more damning. I mean, this is where we are. And the fact that there are still people out there, and I heard some news clips this week, I couldn't believe it. I think you just played a couple of them. The fact that people still insist he was this heroic figure. I mean, it's one thing to absorb two different news feeds, but this is two different realities. We know more now. We know what he was up to, and the fact that he couldn't say a word on Capitol Hill speaks volumes. Anything he said would probably incriminate himself, and he knew that, so that's why he did what he did.
I thought it was pretty funny that Jake Tapper was trying to act like he didn't have anything to do with Anthony Fauci this week, even though he's mentioned 42 times in the diary. And he had dinner at Jake Tapper's house during the height of the pandemic, and they didn't wear protection, the face mask, because they were eating lobster.
That was one of the things that I thought would bring down some politicians, the Gavin Newsoms of the world, eating French laundry. I thought, okay, when this breaks out, when we find out what's going on here, the fact that they're saying one thing and doing another, then it's all going to come crashing down. But no, and I blame a lot of the late night comedians and Saturday Night Live.
Oh, yeah.
They should have feasted on that. They should have tortured them comedically. Nope, left them alone. And so that's why Gavin Newsom's still around and looking to run for president.
Now, you have school-age kids. Because I'll tell you what, it ruined my daughter's high school. It ruined my son's college. 2.5, 3 years of this nonsense in my daughter's high school, missing the second half of her freshman year, and then a hybrid, on camera, and then hybrid, and then wearing a mask for another stupid year. And then my son, 2 years of college, all the bars closed, all of the fraternity parties closed, any social organizations, no basketball at University of Kansas. Ridiculous. How about you?
It really hurt my youngest child, scholastically speaking, in many ways. But by the way, why aren't we angry? I'm as angry today as I was all those days ago.
I am.
Why aren't more people angry?
I think a lot of people are. I think more people than you think are very pissed about it. And as soon as the first civil suit is launched, I'm going to sign on. And I would encourage anyone who had a loved one who died or had to watch their grandparents or parents die alone, you sue that son of a gun and the organization, the NIAID or whoever you can, and get a part of it and make this man die alone, poor, and ostracized.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. Certain things won't happen. He's not going to go to jail. He's not going to be held accountable. But if he became a national laughingstock with his massive ego, I guess that's the best we can hope for. I don't think we're quite there yet. There are still people defending him. Those people defending him, go talk to someone with the facts and figures, and then see what you think. Because if you stick to your story, there may be a mental health problem you're suffering from.
There's no low that the left will go to that you can let a man create a virus, pay to have a virus created, and watch 20 million people die, trillions of dollars of economic damage, a generation of children ruined, their education, psychologically ruined because of isolation. I can go on and on. What a mother bleeper. Is Adam Carolla more trustworthy than legacy media outlets? This is interesting because I'm going to tell you something. This show, since I moved here, number 10 political commentary podcast in America. Guess what? Number 41 news. People are listening to people who do commentary, who do informed commentary, maybe even include a little humor, and I would consider myself to be in the same vein as Adam Carolla.
Yeah, I mean, that's Adam Carolla shouldn't be a source of information. He should be a comedian who riffs on things and points out the foibles of society. But because he's so outraged, like you are, by what we see, he's going to bring some receipts. And he played a clip of Anthony Fauci from a couple of years ago saying, I would love to testify on Capitol Hill about the work we're doing. That's a clip that should lead every news outlet in the country because it speaks volumes of where we are right now. But do you think that was on NBC or CBS?
Of course not.
I didn't watch them all, but there's no way. There's just no way.
I think I have that. Hold on one second. Oh, I got to find it. I have that clip that you're talking about. I started earlier with the show about it, and He basically said that I have nothing to hide. This is back in 2022, and then of course Joe Biden was the president.
Oh, he's got lots to hide.
Yeah, he does. Here it is. This is in 2022, Anthony Fauci.
Well, if I become a punching bag, I'm a punching bag, but I am very happy to...
I'd like to make him a punching bag. How about you, Christian?
...testify before any congressional oversight committee. I have nothing to hide.
I'll get on one side, you get on the other.
I can explain and validate everything that I've done. So it's going to be inconvenient if they actually are out there essentially threatening to make my life miserable. But I'm going to do what I need to do. And that.
Now, the interesting, I made this observation. Did you notice he would open his diary entries with starting about the number of people who died or who were sick, and then talk about the media fawning over him? That's what serial killers do. They kill, and then they watch the media to see the coverage they're getting. It's the same damn thing, bro.
Fascinating is that he felt the need to write all that stuff down.
I know.
Which I think, I'm not a psychologist, but there's something about that that is important. The fact that he had to kind of enumerate what he was up to. And it ultimately kind of got him in trouble. But, if he thinks that we're making his life miserable, well, you did it to us first.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's take a break and come back. New Spider-Man movie. I know, Spider-Man. It's like Star Wars. Can we beat this franchise to death anymore? But it sounds pretty good. We'll get to that on the other side of the break. This is the Rob Carson Show. Harford County. It's a Rob Carson Show on a Friday. Christian Toto, HollywoodandToto.com. HollywoodandToto.com. So we got a new Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man Brand New Day. I got to tell you, I would say more so than many, the Spider-Man franchise, starting with the original, with what's his name, Toby. Anyway, Maguire. That was great, by the way. I've seen that a dozen times. I would say there've been a lot of really good ones. I think there have been a lot of really good ones. How does this compare?
Yeah, it's solid. Yeah, you're right. It's been a good franchise. Andrew Garfield was a good choice for Peter Parker, as is Tom Holland. This is his fourth film. This is Brand New Day. And this time around, he's got an existential crisis because the love of his life no longer remembers him. That's a big plot point for the last movie. Now he's moving on. He's fighting crime, and there's a new threat. The bigger news here is that the Hulk makes an appearance. The Punisher is here as well.
Oh, nice!
Some other heroes mixed in the fun. And I have to say, the squeaky clean Peter Parker versus Frank Castle as the Punisher. Oil and water, and they actually do mix. It's actually they work
really.
Together, so
Punisher is phenomenal. What is it about? We love revenge stuff. We love revenge stuff. It's just the best damn thing, man. And it's interesting to see that happen. I think they should have him take on Dr. Fauci. That would be the next movie that I would do. The evil Dr. Fauci. But
I think that'd sell a lot of tickets. That's for sure.
Oh my God, I'd have it out of it. I was thinking about this because my kids got me into like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. That was one of the animated versions, and then Across the Spider-Verse. Those are beautiful movies. I mean, they are, especially Into the Spider-Verse. I mean, the animation is sick, and they're just great. I love that they did that, and now we're coming back to the live action stuff.
Yeah, I'm a failed art major. I thought those films were just exceptionally beautiful,
God.
Different and creative.
And funny. And
wild.
funny.
Yeah.
And funny. The character, Peter Parker, was funny in them. It was just really, really enjoyable. Really, really enjoyable. I'll have to go see that. By the way, I'm going to go see Odyssey tonight with my daughter. We're going to see it tonight. So, I like I said, we a lot of times we as conservatives, if there's something woke or whatever, we won't watch it. And listen, there's a limit for me that I'll be like, screw this. I'm not going to watch this crap, right? But my son is a very, very learned with film, and he loves film, and he says it's a darn good movie. So we'll see.
Yeah, I agree. And there are a couple of moments in there. There's a line that I thought landed funny, and of course the casting. We've all heard about that. But you can't discount the whole movie based on those small incidents. And Christopher Nolan, director, is super talented, and I think he's got a great vision. I think he cares about the art first. And yeah, he made a couple of decisions that I don't agree with. But you look at the overall picture, no pun intended, and it's really an impressive film with some flaws for sure. I'm sure you'll spot some as well.
Okay.
But worth seeing.
All right. And you also, Barry Worst wrote a column on your HollywoodInToto.com. Motor City, silent action romp delivers big. What is this? What do you mean? What?
Yeah, this is Alan Ritchson, who we know from the Reacher series, and it's an action movie. It's about vengeance. And according to everything I've read, it's got about 5 lines of dialogue. So it's basically telling the story, of course, action, lots of action, but just through other means. So it's a bit experimental at times. I don't know if I haven't seen it because Barry saw it himself, but it is in theaters now. But I have to say, even though I'm curious about it, Alan Ritchson really shot himself in the foot with his really insane Trump rhetoric in recent days.
Yeah.
And the film did very poorly the first weekend at the box office. So if you're making indie films, something that's a little bit different, you just can't do that.
He's just an a-hole. I mean, I'll just say it. He's just an a-hole, honestly. And I kind of like the TV series he was in. I was watching that for a little while. Can't remember what it was. But anyway, But honestly, if you're going to shoot your mouth off, shut up and sing, shut up and act. Honestly, just kind of done with all the nonsense. Did you, by one other thing, go ahead.
You could.
No, did you see Tim Robbins talk to Joe Rogan this week?
I heard a little bit about it. My buddy said, "Oh my gosh, he's been red pilled." I know he was on COVID.
Listen to this. Here's where he talks about all of the psyops we've been through, whether it be the summer of 2020, whether it be January the 6th. Listen, he almost sounds conservative.
I suspect that whole period of time was another way to divide us. In the larger picture. The orchestrated chaos masquerading as a revolution.
2020.
It's there's been so many of those things over the past 5 years. Alliances that you're building, and then all of a sudden there's a new crisis, and now you don't like those people that you were building alliances with.
I think, and I was listening to him, and he sounds like a liberal that I could break bread with, like John Fetterman.
Yeah, I agree. I met him years ago, interviewed him. He was actually recording me as I was recording him.
Oh, really?
Make sure I didn't take him. Yeah, I was working for a conservative newspaper, but we had a great conversation, and I think he is an old school throwback liberal.
I love it.
We may disagree in politics, but I think he's at least intellectually honest in the Bill Maher mold to say, hey, something's not right here.
Yeah, even though he's married to Susan Sarandon. Are they still together?
No, they split.
Well, thank God. Well, maybe that's why he's sane now. And by the way, obviously, Bull Durham, his performance was legendary. Legendary.
Yeah, he's great. I mean, that and the Shawshank alone puts him in the Hall of Fame. So.
Absolutely. All right, Chris Toto, thanks for being on the show again today. Tell everybody where they can check out your work and also your podcast.
Yep, HollywoodInToto.com, or just punch in Hollywood in Toto into YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, or your favorite podcast provider.
All right, have a glorious weekend. I appreciate you. Let's take a break and come back. This is The Rob Carson Show. Hello. How you doing, kids? Astro Turtle. What's going on? Autocannon. You say that movie is a desecration of Homer's classic. Did you see it? Have you seen it? I'm going to find out if it is or not. I'm going to find out if it is or not. And I'll be honest with you. All righty. Who's watching over on Facebook? Prani Yuperchat. You guys have been talking about a storm over here. What did you say earlier, Prani, that I thought was kind of funny? You've been talking all morning. What? What did you say? Get out of here, Mama said knock you out. What is it? Making spaghetti sauce for dinner later, Chris Schwab. Make some Sunday gravy, baby. Spaghetti sauce, you got to make spaghetti sauce, you got to make it all day. You got to cook it down, you got to make it all day. Don't be afraid of tomato paste. I'm going to be doing a little cooking this weekend. I'm making this Middle Eastern condiment called harissa. And I got the recipe from Kava, the restaurant group. I know the guy who owns it. He had one restaurant in Rockville, Maryland when I lived here, and now he's a billionaire. And Kava products are really good. Their crazy feta is fantastic, and their harissa is the deal. Harissa. Oh, my God. It's so bloody good. Okay, Roundup Pony. How are you? A troll at the end of the show? Who? Troll phones we made for America. Yeah, I see it. I understand. I don't like trolls, so what I do is I just go over and I go, delete, and you've been deleted. Time for me to talk.
4 minutes.
Oh, yeah, Biggie. Come on. Sicker than your average. I know. I'm a white boy who likes rap. I didn't really start liking hip-hop until, like, the last 6 or 8 years. A lot of it's really good. This is really good. This is a very good song. Biggie, 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 can't you see? Sometimes your words just hypnotize me. It's really good. It's really, and like, it's Snoop. It's Snoop inspired by the funk of the 70s. It just really, boom, 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 boom. I love that stuff. I love it. I love all sorts of music. It's kind of interesting. I lived in Missouri for 10 years. Missouri is considering getting rid of the income tax. Once the tax is eliminated, the Constitution would prohibit reinstating it. The measure would also require a local tax rate cuts if local sales tax revenue increases, lets lawmakers expand state sales and uses taxes. Missouri generates $9 billion a year from income, 61% of general revenue. So, yeah, it'd be good. 23 states have reduced their top marginal income tax rates thus far. South Carolina, Utah, Arkansas, Georgia, West Virginia have cut income taxes. Georgia, West Virginia, South Carolina included triggers to mandate further reductions. Okay, that's kind of cool. And people are moving from states that keep the taxes high. Maryland sucks. I lived in Maryland for a dozen years. I was paroled. Thank God. They're getting ready to gerrymander all Republican representation out of Maryland. They've decided to go in on the green energy thing. People's electric bills up 85% under these freaking idiots. Dan Cox is running for governor. Vote for Dan Cox. I know a lot of you people, I don't know about Dan Cox. He lost the last time. Yeah, he lost the last time. But you know what? How about we make him win this time? Because Wes Moore, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air head, is destroying the state. There's a bridge over there. It's not even being built. It was knocked down a year and a half ago. They said it was going to cost $1.5 billion to fix. Then they said $9 billion. Then they fired the company making it, and right now it's just sitting there doing nothing. While Wes Moore parades around the country running for president, he will never be the president. He will never be the president ever. Oh, let's see who else here. Reducing income tax will make Missouri more competitive. I loved Missouri. I my heart is in Missouri. I met my wife in Missouri. I love Missouri. Missouri is beautiful. Southern Missouri is absolutely beautiful. Lived in Columbia, Springfield, Kansas City, all of those places, and Maryville, northwest Missouri State, home of the mighty Bearcats. Nebraska 4.5% interest rate. Oklahoma 4.5. Arkansas 3.9. Iowa 3.8. Kentucky 3.5. 8 states, including Texas, Alaska, Nevada, New Hampshire, South Dakota, and Wyoming, have no income taxes at all. Awesome. Tennessee also, and Florida. Where's that? New Hampshire has no tax on sales or income. Did you know that? We have 4 great radio stations, Benny Media, in New Hampshire. The only thing keeping me from moving from New Hampshire is the winters. I just can't do those winters anymore. And I've never liked the winters. But I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. But it's a pretty cool place, and I want to say hi to Jack Heath. He's a great guy, and literally like the mayor of Concord, a massive personality up there, brilliant man. There you go. That's going to do it for the show this week. Make sure to check out my TV show, Rob Carson's What in the World This Weekend, Saturday at 3, Sunday at 8:30 p.m. on Newsmax. Download the Newsmax app. Go to newsmaxplus.com. Sign up for Newsmax Plus. Thank you so much, guys. God bless you, America's founder, Donald Trump. He's doing a great job. Our military kicking butt in Iran. And until Monday, do not, for the love of God, catch the stupid. I'll see you then.
The Rob Carson Show is presented by Paramount Plus.